Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. We is back to finish this Umar saga. Umar is acting like this shit didn't happen over on his IG page. He getting reposted by Snoop Dogg and shit, and he having fun with that stuff. He's unbothered. He was bothered though, but he unbothered overall. Now let's finish listening to what she had to say and see if Lennon gonna be fair at any point during this interview.
So he doesn't use a microwave, which I was okay with that. But he has an extremely large tea collection.
Yeah,
like it's insane.
Yeah, I'm a tea guy too, so I guess Umar. I don't have a whole bunch of it, but I like tea.
He's got a ton of it.
Yeah, someone had asked, Jessica had asked, does Umar change her and empty the toilet that she uses?
Yeah, he does. He has his way. He doesn't. He just goes right in. He don't glove up or nothing. He just goes right in.
Okay. Someone had asked, where was the gorilla from?
I don't know, but that thing was strange sitting on top of them piles of clothes. He has cool stuff. He don't take care of it.
Yeah, was it a black gorilla?
Yep, it was black.
Did it have a silverback?
No, but it had his eyes popped to the side like he didn't trust nobody. The gorilla was on like sketchy, some kind of sketchy about you.
Well, that is crazy.
The comforter on his bed is like, I was like, really, dude?
What was it?
He has like a Ninja Turtle type of comforter on his bed. Maybe it's something he always wanted.
You gotta be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes. And it's like from that era too.
Was it old?
Yeah, it was pretty old. I don't know where he got that from. Maybe Amazon, but
well, that's wild.
How he get it from Amazon if it was old?
He does. He's very childlike though. That's something I've commented about.
He has every kind of Frederick Douglass coffee mug you could possibly. I took all them coffee mugs. He had like 60 of them. I tried to take them out of there. He's like, "Oh no, we ain't getting rid of this."
Where were they? Were they just scattered around?
They're just all up in the cabinet, but none of the stuff that's supposed to be in the cabinet could fit. And then, like, it's very back in time. You know what I'm saying? Even there was a picture on the fridge that is from a long, it's with all of his brothers and sisters, his mother and everything, but it's been up there so long you can't tell who or what they look like. They're just figures.
Is that the one with his daddy, like towards the front?
They're like sitting around a table or something. It looked like they're at some kind of community center or a church.
Oh no, not that one. No, this one it looked like it was like around Christmas or something like that. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think this one is a little, but I tried to look at it. It's like, I don't know, you can't see it.
Now, one of the people that was around, especially when Umar was started with the school scam early on, was someone named Sharon. Did you ever meet Sharon?
No, I never met any of the girls. Never met any of his girls. None of them.
Tiff the Griff?
No, I didn't meet her either. I heard about her.
What about Ann? Yeah, I know he don't like her.
He's like, she talks too damn much. That's what he said. He doesn't like a lot of people that I'm surprised to see him around, and I told y'all that too. He tells his fans or his supporters, I keep saying fans, but his supporters that stuff, but like personal stuff. But he's like, when they call him, he's like sucking his teeth. He don't want to be bothered with him. He thinks he's just stupid. Like he says things that's really mean, and I told him kind of lighten up on that. But he just, and especially the men that are very like go fetchy and snitching on other. He talks about it, but you encourage the behavior.
Yeah.
Like people send him stuff that people are doing.
Lennon said that his video wasn't gonna be monetized because of the little comments that they were saying in there. And y'all know I'm a cussing motherfucker, and my 2 videos I've done on this reviewing it have been monetized. So I don't know what he talking about.
And stuff, he talks about the person, but you take the information. So he stops sending you stuff like that. So
by the way, did you, because I know there was another woman that had dealt with Umar, and she did a video online, and she talked about how he was very much preoccupied with his phone. Like he was spending a lot of time on his phone.
Yeah, he is Yeah, you have to literally, I had to take the phone out of his hand or pause the phone in order to get him like to come to. He talks about people being on devices. I even thought about his birthday this year before we got into it, getting him what the hell is that? A Switch. Because he talks about game systems, but I really think he is a guy that needs a game system. He would have a ball on.
So you talking about Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, he needs a Nintendo Switch for when he's on the road and stuff like that.
I thought she was talking about a Glock with a Switch.
What he is, what he says, but he is that kid. He's that person. He's a lot like Brenda Depper. Like in that.
Yeah. You're right, and I didn't say that back then.
I think he saw a lot of himself in him.
There you go. Yep, you're right. You're right. Especially, see, a lot of the pieces are being put together in my mind based upon things that you're saying from your personal experience. And even when you brought up autism, that's why I took the time to really kind of explore that a little bit deeper, because Umar he shows some very interesting signs and symptoms. And I have to say, there's some of these things I associated with ADHD, but it could just be a manifestation of levels of autism.
He could be like my son and have both. My son didn't want to have nothing to do with him. He was like, I don't want to talk to him. I was like, you want to talk to him? I think he thought I was trying to sneak him into the space, but he actually identical. Like, that's why he doesn't bother me as much as he sets other people off, because they're not identical. They're not identical. My son.
No, I know what you're saying. I understand.
But yeah, and I asked him, I said, are you autistic? Because I've spent a lot of time, even though I'm skipping IEP meetings, so I've spent a lot of time.
Based on the narrative he was saying.
That's not being funny, but yeah.
There they go again. You did miss one. You missed that one because you were out of town.
A lot of time in that world because my baby's got, So I see a lot of autism in him. I think it's coupled with some other things. I think those other things came because he is a black, he was a black child in a space.
Okay, correction. That letter, it didn't say you missed the IEP meeting. You missed a meeting, a disciplinary meeting. You had the IEP meeting on the phone with them, and they knew you was out of town. So you're correct. You ain't missed the IEP meeting that we know of. I just thought about that.
They were not understanding to what was going on to him. So he had a lot of things, and I think his dad did a lot of damage trying to drill sergeant it out of him.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand. He was trying to make, like a lot of these men out here, they don't understand their kids are different. They're trying to just go on autopilot parenting. No, you have to take time. You got to be creative.
You're right. And that's something that I even have to learn, because the way that I grew up is very much different than how my sons, in particular my sons, how they're growing up. Yeah. Because we were taught that you have to be hard, that you have to be able to deal with stuff and take it. Yeah. And not, cry about it, not whine about it. And I'm still kind of like that to this day. Like, I do stuff that happens and I say, I ain't gonna worry about it. It's gonna happen. But it's very much hardcore. But the problem is that when you're dealing with younger boys, they have to be able to work through their emotions. And if you stop them from doing it, that's going to cause problems later on.
Yes.
And over time, I've gotten better with it. And I have a sense that Jamal, as a drill instructor in what was he? He was a Marine. Mm-hmm. That a lot of the level of discipline that Jamal received in the Marines, which is over the top, that he tried to apply that to Umar, but Umar was very much different. And as even to this day, Umar, he doesn't manage levels of stress well. If you have a father putting you through that, it couldn't have been easy.
And then on top of that, Lennon, I want to tell you too, he's the oldest sibling of a lot of siblings. He was probably supposed to, or they expected him to show up a lot of the time for those siblings, and he probably couldn't. Probably wanted to, but he couldn't because he had his own things. I think that they put him in that school, and that was his break away from it. But it also did some damage too. I think that he is a lot like my son in that regard. Like his daddy put him in that military school, severed that tie with his mother. And it was not that his mother was kind of like, what do they call those people when it's not your security animal, but they're like your safe person. You know what I mean? So
the support animal.
Umar, it really is, if you think to take away all of his fuck up, messed up things, he really is a hell of a case study. That's why I understand you going into depth about him. And a lot of times people are like, what do you, because I'm always wondering, why is he doing this? Why is he like
Me too. Yeah, me too. Yep.
Instead of just like, oh, he's an asshole. That's all it is. There's something else that happened a long time ago.
A lot of things. There must have been a lot of things.
He is deeply traumatized. And he has some really off-balance ideas on how to be a man, on how to just A lot of things.
Well, that's, and it's evident even how he's dealing with this situation. He doesn't know how to cope. He doesn't know how to manage this as a man would.
Yeah.
Can I ask you?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just telling him, and I said, you know, my only.
All men don't cope and react the same, just like how you were talking about his dad and his form of discipline. You don't discipline your child or children like that. So what the fuck? You don't know how to cope as a man should. Men react all different types of ways to shit. Just because your way is pussy doesn't mean somebody else's who decides to fight energy with energy is not a man. You is helping these bitches spread that bullshit. Therefore, they don't have to take any accountability for their goddamn behavior. And that just doesn't work in the real world. So she can come on here and talk about his mama and all that shit. And he, as a man, just supposed to take it. Nigga, one could say the shit you doing ain't man-like. But then wouldn't you be offended if somebody said, well, you sitting up talking about this nigga all day, every day? That ain't man-like. That's not how men would handle their business. You gotta watch the shit you say.
Things, hey, don't, because when he stonewalls, if we're done, we're done. I don't really care about that. But let me know so I can take care of myself. I'd like to, go to the doctor and, go on, sit back up on the porch. I said that, and there was one other thing. Don't put other people.
So this nigga is saying if it's not done his way, it's not manhood.
My space. The very two things that I asked him not to do. He would not ever tell me, okay, babe, we had a fun route, move on. And then not even that, he would not stop. He put people in my space because he knew my privacy was of the utmost importance. The very two things that I asked him not to do. He would not ever tell me, okay, babe, we had a fun route, move on. And then
so she's mad he didn't just break up with her officially. He just stopped contacting her. She said that's one thing the two things she asked him not to do. One was which just let me know, and he wouldn't just tell me, okay, baby, we ran our course. He broke up with her. He ghosted her.
The very two things that I asked him not to do. He would not ever tell me, okay, babe, we had a fun route, move on. And then not even that, he would not stop. He put people in my space because he knew my privacy was of the utmost importance. That's why he put all of this stuff out here. So the two things that I asked him or he thought would get at me, he went directly to those things. And I
yeah, vindictive.
Yeah.
Very vindictive.
Yeah.
I have to ask, do you think that part of the reason why you were willing to do for Umar what not a lot of people would have attempted to do was because you saw in Umar aspects of what you.
All humans are vindictive. If you get revenge, if you get back, it's vindictive. If you get mad at your wife and you sleep on the couch for 4 days, that's being vindictive.
In your own son?
Absolutely. And I wanted him to understand that whatever is in you, though it has not been acceptable in our community, in the Black community, you can be okay in your skin and teach people how to deal with it. Simplifying it as, daddy in the home and stuff like that. You have to teach these people, pour into them. You sitting up here putting up these crazy ass memes, and you need to be talking about these things on a consistent basis and to help them help their kids.
Yeah.
I didn't see him in a space. I felt like that the popularity made the shield go up, and it's smart. And now that passion and everything that he once had went out the window, because he's too busy trying to meet this image. And I just seen a different. It's unfortunate things went like this because I just felt like that's what I was saying in the beginning. I felt like if he just really had somebody.
The man didn't do anything to you, ma'am. He just ghosted you. He ghosted you. He got tired of you. He dealt with you for almost a year talking. He dealt with you a year physically. And then you said you cut the physical off. And so he was done with you. He didn't say it. He just showed it by not talking to you no more. And you got upset that he was ignoring you, and you decided to go to the nigga that you know he's talked to you about. Because you said you asked him about who he was.
You ride or die. Sex was just, that was something that got your attention. That's kind of like the candy for the fat kids. But in all actuality, if you were really given a space to do some damn good, even by him drawing the thing up of Africa, all these things that he wanted for the school, he's highly imaginative, but there's a lot of stuff that stops that from happening. And if you get control over that, like I've been trying to teach my son, the sky is the limit for you. Yeah,
but perhaps it is that if you do it early on, it can have the impact that you would desire. But if it happens, you know, when Umar's 40, he's 50 now. That it may, So, it is, but the thing is, I think that's probably what a lot of people are missing out to this equation. It wasn't just that you met Umar on a whim and you decided to go take care of his mother. There's so much more. There was a lot of time that passed through over a year of you texting back and forth and talking on the phone. But then all these other dynamics of you wanting to save Umar, saying things in Umar that you see your own son.
Imagine a 45-year-old woman not being able to handle that a nigga just don't want to talk to you no more.
And also getting out there and taking care of his mother. I can tell that you genuinely care about her. And
he over here on his ops panels getting timelines done and shit. This shit sounds familiar. I feel like I've lived what Umar is going through right now. From a woman that was like 45 when I broke up with her, and this is over on all my ops giving timelines and shit.
To consider all of that too, as we continue talking about your experience with Umar, there was a lot that was wrapped up in this.
I think you're absolutely right. I just feel, I wish that we could just have like healthier spaces to have, you know, conversations like me and you just had in spaces, because like there's so much going on and I feel like we could do a lot of good, but this nastiness, the violence, that takes away from the good, you know? And some people are not. Then, and I think that you found that space on your own with life, maybe. And I have that space, but I think Umar was raised in a space where, you know, that wasn't able to flourish. And so he just uses the darkness in order to stay on top.
Yeah. And I also think he was never validated, you know?
No.
Yeah. Because he has major issues with being validated. Like you said, being worshipped and being praised. Someone said something else, and this is James. I salute to James. He says he's an old school Marine. That's probably why his father rejected him with autism.
Yeah. You know how many black parents just like, all you need to do is whoop his butt. Like my son, no, that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. I'm not saying that's probably what Jamal did, but that's the kind of mindset all that boy needs is structure. No, he's got some other things going on with him.
Yeah. James also said his dad was,
if the man got 6 degrees, it looks like the structure worked. He got 6 degrees. He's taking care of his elderly mama.
Embarrassed by his autistic son, Umar went to school to prove him wrong. Since Umar is highly functional, reading calms him down.
Reading keeps his mind in. He's got a problem. I think Umar has what they said. My son has a Ferrari brain with bicycle brakes. That's the way they said it. Like even when he's losing stuff, he's moving faster than what his brain is. Reading paces that out. That's why it's very important to get your kids reading and stuff. It helps them. It helps that brain keep the pace and stay on task. Very true. Very true.
Okay, sis, I want to be respectful of your time. Are you okay? If you can keep going, how much time can you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, because if you don't mind, I'd like to get to all the questions that were sent in this chat room. And then I have other stuff. Well, maybe we can get together in the future if you're up to it. Let's get to this next question. This is from Pretty Brown Eyes. Did you do any online research on Umar before you started your relationship?
Very little. I'm an extremely busy person. Very little. I did call myself doing a little bit more busy because y'all gotta understand he was with my son, my son at the time, my oldest son, and I mean my son idolized him. He never really showed that much interest in anyone, so I wanted to make sure he was a good dude. You know, he was like, like even when we went out to eat, he's hanging with him. He felt open to talk to him. I wanted to make sure he wasn't some weirdo, you know, that we were going up there and picking up. And I see anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But as far as like sexual, I didn't view him like
Her
that.
end goal is to embarrass Umar because she got everything else in life.
I didn't have like a
And the fact that she has a AKA Lene Stacks a alias lets me know she has some type of social media following. So that may be the end goal as well, to get her social media popping.
I wouldn't have gone and looked off into his personal life because I was just focused on himself as a professional. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I knew that his beliefs were radical, but you know, for everything else that I come across with my son, you know, I said, hey, what the hell?
Yeah, and that's another pattern because I tend to recognize patterns with Umar. We're in the women that will at least talk with Umar. Oftentimes, they're doing it because they have sons that they have issues. That the sons have issues, and they're they want to try to get help because Umar presents himself as this professional psychologist, school psychologist, therapist. He's not a therapist, but he's
so you're at your most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never vulnerable in any other place. You know, if you look at me from the outside, I'm not vulnerable with anything else. I'm pretty much lean towards logic with everything, as you know, you can see. So when this comes along,
you lean with logic, but you and his relationship had nothing to do with him helping you with your kids, therapy, and none of that. It was you was attracted to this nigga. That was your relationship with him. So you lead with logic everywhere else except for fucking this nigga.
this is the only thing that makes me vulnerable. My kids are I'm turning to mush.
Yeah, but
so yeah, that's how he's getting women.
Yeah. Another question.
Bitch, you jumped in his inbox telling him your son was, and you became, he didn't know y'all. You hit him up. You went to go drive him, talking about that's how he get women. He ain't talk to you about your goddamn kids. The hell is wrong with you?
I may have already asked this. Can we ask if Umar tried pursuing other women while Lene was there?
I encouraged it. I like seeing him with other. I like the pictures, all that stuff. I even send text where I was like, "She's cute. I like her." I wanted him to find a wife, or if he wanted to, I don't know how the hell he's gonna pull that off, especially with his paranoia. Because as soon as they agreed on something and then include him, shit was gonna hit the fan.
Yeah.
But I was trying to work him to that like realization.
I'm sorry, sis. You know I got love for you, but
you constantly worried about the wrong shit. If you ain't dealing with him like that again, like were you trying to be his fucking personal assistant then after you stopped fucking him? Was you trying to work for him? Because it seemed like you still just wanted to be attached to this man instead of going on about your business. But I can't even say you want to be his personal assistant because you was willing to move in with this nigga and his mama to take care of her for free.
Yeah,
I'm a bit, I know.
It's too much. Let me ask you this though. It doesn't sound like Umar was someone that you saw as sexually desirable in the beginning, but obviously something changed. What was it that changed?
His brain.
She lied. She thought that nigga was attractive from day fucking one. She's a goddamn lie. Hold on, let me put these. See, she ain't finna get away with this shit. Hold on, where are my overlays? So you can just see what she talking about. And tell me in a year of them talking, she wasn't trying to fuck this nigga or sending booty pics and stuff. Just learning what she said. I miss you so much. I can't wait to go down on you. I need you bad, Umar. She can't wait to go down on him. That's another one. I forgot about that one. I erased them with the lollipop. Damn, that haircut is so sexy on you. She telling me his haircut sexy on him with a booty pic. But she ain't find him attractive though. This is the world we live in. And she 45. Crazy work. old thought.
I'm a thinker, and his brain, when he's on point, that does it. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's on point, when he's on top of his game, when he's talking right, when he stays on task. But the only thing that kept breaking me with him is like he'll be on live, we'll be going in, and it's not about jealousy. It's just because it's kind of like a class clown. He'll break and be like, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. It's nothing even there walking, Umar. Stay on what you're talking about. I think he does it to keep people's attention. I think he leans on it because he's been told he's a fine man, like he's cute, he's desirable, and he leans on it because that makes him acceptable. But there's also another person in there, but besides all of that, but he don't lean on that person. Like stay on your intellect. That's what is the flex, But yeah, I wasn't attracted to him when I met him and everything like that. And then I was coming out 4 years, out in the desert. So I was coming back too, but I was more hyped up about what his work was. That's where I was.
Stop the cap.
And then it's kind of like you're with, oh my God, if you psych yourself up, it's like, damn, I'm with MLK. Like,
stop the
you're
cap.
thinking because you haven't seen all the other stuff. So I wanted to ask him every damn thing. What do you eat for breakfast? What do you do here? I wanted to know everything. Mm-hmm. And I had his number. Oh my God, I drove that man crazy. But when I figured out he was like everybody else.
See, I drove this man crazy. And it's not like he personally gave you his number. Motherfucker, he say his number all the time online. You took the time to write that motherfucker down and or remember it and hit him up. Just like thousands of women do. I won't even say thousands. Just like hundreds of women do every day. Hundreds.
Like I told him, I said something. He was like, I'm a revolutionary. Like, how would you even ask me that? Like, he was just eating pie. Like, about the one in the kitchen. I mean, like, come on, man, what are we doing? But
a revolutionary can't eat pie.
That's how I saw him. And then he just kind of grew. And then also,
wait, so you can't eat pie as a revolutionary?
I did. I don't anymore. Like with all the things we just talked about. But then when I seen that demon come out, yeah, I was like, oh no, it's something very wrong about you.
Yeah, what would you say was the biggest experience that you had where that demon came out on a whole nother level?
When when he had me get up, oh my God, there were so many. I think the first time I seen it was when something happened to the little boy, the drill, and I was like, maybe he's just caught up in a moment. He's not acting proper to this situation.
Hold on,
he
y'all.
was just cold to it.
Give me a
second. This man's father just took himself.
Okay, I'm back. I had to send the thing to my
I
had to email
took themselves out of the game.
I had to go to IG, take the pictures, crop the pictures out, and email them to myself so that I could be able to put them up on the screen for y'all, so I could show y'all some more. This thirsty woman's messages talking about she wasn't attracted to him. She sat there and described the shit out this man dick for about 20 minutes. Funning over that motherfucker, remembering the fun memories. But now, a day later, no, I wasn't attracted to him.
No type of way about this. You don't want to lean on mental health. You want to lean to conspiracy, even though there are some very sketchy things about the story. And then the fact that you didn't even consider the family before you just plopped it up on Instagram. That's cold. Mm-hmm. That's cold. And I was talking to him. Mm-hmm. The fact that we did all of that work to put that event on, and then somebody had the audacity to send in, oh, the filming crew wasn't Black. They were, but the man was a light-skinned, a fairly light-skinned guy, and he felt BS to us. I felt like that was tactless. There were so many incidents that came along, but the one when his daughter came out and I seen he did her like that, and I'm literally taking care of a woman that is her twin. You know what I'm saying? And she needs you. She needs you to show up in both capacities as a father. She still does. And I asked him, I said, please, I know, don't take it, but I wanted to help her. I wanted to help her too. And I was like,
y'all don't know the dynamic and the relationship between him and his child. He's not the first one to not deal with the child that feels like they're grown and don't want to listen. Sometimes you got to do that. And most of the time, kids come to their senses. Like, as y'all see, men have no problem cutting their fucking kids off. Baby girl or son. You seen we done seen Master P had to come out here and tell little Romeo, you got me fucked up. We done seen Brian McKnight come out here and say to his child, you got me fucked up. We've seen 50 Cent come out here and say to his son, you got me fucked up. And these is all dads talking to their sons. Who else is there? That somebody that Kurt Franklin told his son, you got me fucked up? Hell, Monique then said to her son, you got me fucked up. Sometimes it's best to cut your family off. Don't matter who it is. Sometimes kids have to cut their parents off. It just happens. You're not obligated to put up with bullshit. And y'all don't know this man and his daughter's fucking relationship dynamic. Y'all know what she said on one short ass video.
You gotta help her. You gotta help her. This is not the person that I would have ever laid down with. Ever. I don't like people like that. And then I try to tell them about his supporters. You need to get these people in check. Like you're in your comment section talking, not necessarily to me, but to each other. How can you be talking about black folks and y'all talking to each other like that? That's weird. Get that under control so you can have spaces like what you got over here.
Yeah, real talk. The other thing though too, I think Umar, he thrives in chaos in the sense that if he can create chaos in other people's lives, he feels like he's in control.
Oh, he does. He does. And I saw it in his mother by the things that she was choosing to talk about. I don't meditate on stuff like that. I don't talk about women. I don't talk about people when they leave the circle. Umar is a very mean girl type dude. He's like
mean girl.
Like he talks to RZA. I respect RZA. RZA Islam is doing his thing. Y'all might not agree on how you do it, but y'all after the same goal, And he had some bad stuff to say about RZA. I'm like, why are you talking shit on RZA?
Yeah, what did he say? You talking about RZA Islam? What did he say?
Yeah, he talked about RZA has very good posture. So, he thinks he's homosexual. He said he came behind him and whispered in his ear at the time. He's got a problem with him.
Yeah, I'll see what she's saying up there on the screen. Yeah, I'll see it.
Has a problem with Professor Griff. Professor Griff is in our city a lot. We got a lot of love for him. He is now with Soleil, but he don't. I said, you know him? I'm trying to figure out the parameters because I'm new to the conscious community. I don't know who we mess with. I'm not a type of person I mess with people, and I know you don't like them in your face.
Umar's done events with Professor Griff.
He said he heard he didn't like him. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we don't like him or whatever. I said something. He told me about you. And then I'm thinking all of these things from the other side of the pond. And I'm like, oh, well, Lennon, we don't like Lennon. So we just, he doesn't like all these people. He doesn't like him and Mark Lamont. I don't know what and I try to keep Mark Lamont on his toes, but I guess he threw me under the bus. That's what kind of pushed Umar to his max. But he doesn't like him because he dated one of his baby moms. And
a lot of people don't know that. Can you explain that?
One of the baby moms when in high school or maybe in college was dating Mark Lamont Hill. And he thought that Mark Lamont was trying to get him on Joe Budden to basically, pull out all some receipts on Umar. So he canceled the Joe Budden. He was like, I'll intellectually whoop him in a debate, which, I don't know. But he was like, do you think I should go? And I was turning over, because I gave him advice on a lot of things. Umar does not make his own decisions well. But for that situation, I walked through it with him.
Now, again, this is the woman he been dealing with for, let's just say, 2 years. When she met him, he was Umar motherfucking Johnson. He had been making decisions for at least 15 years to the point where she found out about him, but he's not well with making decisions on his own. Yet he managed to become who he was before he ever met her. Now, I don't like this nigga, but some of the shit she's saying is just dumb as hell. Apparently, he made enough decisions that he had been on the Breakfast Club about 10 times before you ever knew who the fuck he was, ma'am.
And it kind of had me in it. Like, how would I go about it? But he was thinking that they were trying to get him on there and shame him. Like, but throw all his dirty laundry out there and then have an intellectual there. Umar don't like being in the same space with intellectual.
Yeah, you're right. And so what you're saying is that Mark Lamont Hill was going to be on the Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah, he was on Joe Budden and he didn't want to.
Mark Lamont Hill is a host. He's a co-host. He there on every podcast on the Joe Budden show.
Be on there. I really worried about him in Breakfast Club when Jeff Hilarious was on there. I wanted to know how their dynamic would go because he's a little bit insensitive to, certain things. But he had a problem with that space.
Well, what did she have a problem with? What was it about Jeff Hilarious?
He said she talks a lot. He don't like her.
Well, she is. Yeah, she's very outspoken. That's probably why he doesn't like. Yeah.
And for her to just had a baby, she was going through that. I just felt like sensitive. I sent him a thing about being sensitive to her needs and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. Then we were talking about he was just over. I think Amber Rose was trying to wink up on, like winking at him or whatever. And I was like, well, figure out why he's there because I know the space. I know people that are in that space. I'm like, you got to make sure that the industry loves. Dirt.
Where are all these text messages? She done sent Lennon all the text messages. We ain't seen shit. So what did the text messages prove and why did she send them if we're not going to see them?
Their currency, Mm-hmm. I was encouraged before, even going out there, like, to just protect myself. So I told him, I said, make sure, she's there for you and not. So he sent me text messages. She sent him, which they could go either way. I don't know if she was flirting or if she was.
But who said the
Amber Rose?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So Sukihana is something that he wanted, and this is from what I hear. He wanted that. I don't think Sukihana played with him, but I think that he was coming off kind of Uncle Creepy to her.
Probably.
But
she's younger too, right?
Yeah, I don't. And then he's sitting up there talking about me.
Suki don't care. She's an OnlyFans model. You pay her, you can fuck. Don't matter how old you are.
You want to align yourself with somebody that, no shade to her, but she's talking about eating the guy's groceries. I mean, you can't be on both sides of the fence. Either you are or you are. And I kind of figured just by him, the way he was sex talk with me, like what he's into and what he's not into. So.
Lord have mercy. You said something about groceries. What does that mean?
Like the back door, like he wanted her to mess with his back door.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good Lord Jesus. And what was her name?
You fingered it, according to you.
There's Sukihana, and then there was what was the other one? Amber Rose.
Yeah, because I just want to see how old Sukihana, because he
reminds me of. He is like a male version to give people a better scope. He is a male version of Amanda Seal.
I don't know who that is.
Yes.
Yeah, because she was on Club Shay Shay, and she did say that she had autism, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how true or whatever. But she seems to have people get a bad tone from her. She's very intelligent, though. The woman
is very well.
She is very intelligent. She just does not do well with people, but she's no worse than Umar is. She's just a woman, He gets passes on his stuff. She gets called out, and I'm not trying to push her on anybody or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's just the dynamic. And look at I don't know. I think he did kind of like he had eyes on.
Umar gets called out all the time. You on a man's platform right now. Who call him out? I don't like the nigga. I call him out. Several people talk about this nigga. He gets called out daily, ma'am. There's no shortage of niggas calling him out.
And Brian, which I would have liked that matchup, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen.
Cheyenne Brian.
He just likes good-looking women.
Okay, that's fine. Cheyenne Brian. I don't even know what that is.
She's a doctor too, but I think that.
Okay, yeah.
I think that was stubble because he didn't enjoy her intellect. I can guarantee you that Umar is not going to get someone on his level or above.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to, he can't stay in that space because he needs you to shrink in order for him to be okay.
Yeah, because he's a very insecure individual.
Very.
Sis, is there, and again, this is maybe beyond the scope, whatever you're comfortable with. You did say in terms of Umar's sexual proclivities that you could tell that there was something there based on the text message or sex message, if you will.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can share to kind of shed light on it if you're comfortable with that?
Yeah. I'm trying to find myself, like, explore. I'm only messing with him. I'm staying in a small city. Anybody would have jumped up and said, hey, I'm with her too. But I was just like trying to, and I thought that he was more of a looker, not like a taker. Because when we got together, he wasn't really like suave. Like, he knew what the hell he knew.
Yeah, she said when she met him, she was 43 with 2 kids. I mean, when she started inboxing him, she was 43 with 2 kids. And then at 44, when she actually got with him physically, she was trying to explore what exactly? Bitch, you 40. What were you trying to explore?
Way around some things. I'm like, oh shoot, I need more than you, so I just took over.
Hey, wait a minute, hold on. You're talking about sexually here.
And as she's saying, she knows more sexually than this man. His baby mamas ain't even came out and said no shit like this.
What the hell? He knew his way around some things. I'm like, oh shoot, I need more than you, so I took over.
Hey, wait a minute, hold on. You're saying,
would have jumped up and say, hey, I was with her too. But I was just like trying to, and I thought that he was more of a looker, not like a taker. Because when we got together, he wasn't really like suave. Like, he knew what the hell, he knew his way around some things. I'm like, oh shoot, I need more than you, so I took over.
Hey, wait a minute, hold on. You're talking about sexually here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just kind of like, I held the reins, I introduced things, whatever. And then he
from the messages we can see, Umar responded and talked to her in messages like he was the groupie because he had a feeling this day was gonna come. His responses are basic as hell. He knew what was up with you. Look at the shit. That's why Lennon probably ain't put them messages out between y'all because it's mostly you doing the talking. They got it just back to back to back. This nigga ain't said nothing.
To the idea that he wanted 2 chicks. And I was like, well, I'm not up for that. Like, I thought about it, but I was like, I don't know about that one. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how far I wanted to go into that space. And then I thought that was just part of him.
But I thought you was exploring. You was exploring, but you didn't want to do that. But you was trying to explore your sexuality at 44.
And 2 wives.
Yeah, no, it's actually reversed. What he wants is that type of freak off type of thing, but he uses the whole 2 wives as a.
Oh yeah, I got the Texas, so I know he wants 2 women, and I know why he wants 2 women, and I want to know what he wants to do.
Well, can you share?
Huh?
Can you share?
He just wants. He wants to. He's a big butt guy, and he wants 2 women giving him oral sex.
Okay, I
don't know how.
Fellas, what is wrong with that? Fellas, ain't that your dream? If you've ever had it, you know how it feels. If you haven't had it, you know that is every guy's dream right there. You feel like a guy, you feel like the prince of motherfucking Zamunda. Nigga can't tell you shit. What's wrong with that? Normal niggas do it, so the Prince of Pan-Africanism, as famous as he is, he ain't allowed to have that when regular niggas walking around can get it. Come on, man.
Oh, like how that works. But
how did this make him seem bad?
I think so. You want to Cinnabon assembly line? He was like, yeah, little is never good enough for him.
I don't understand that. I don't get it. You're saying
he want a threesome, nigga.
He wants 2 women to give him oral sex at the same time.
Okay.
Lennon ain't never had no shit like that. So he imagined it. He like, shit, I wouldn't mind that either. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But why did you say he's a big butt? What that got to do with it?
He likes butts. So he wants to look at the butt, be hitting the butt, and if he could have him spread about also, then he would have that.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Like all he sees is booties. I don't know what he's a booty guy.
What's wrong with
he always
that?
says 5'5" picking the thighs, and he talks like that, and how they have to have a big butt, this kind of thing.
The most I was interested in doing,
and she fit the mold a little bit. She got a little junk back there. She fit the mold. That's why he talked to her.
like with the sensory deprivation, I thought that would be good for him because I thought he had autism. So I was like, there's section there. I was like, we're going to just cover your eyes and close your ears out, and then we're going to try it like that. And he wasn't against it, so I was like, well, that's what we'll try. I was more into that. The one girl thing came in and he gave me instructions. He wanted me. I was like, yeah. This was not going to happen though. I just as far as with my comfortability. But then again, I found someone and I was like, well, maybe this might work. But he wanted.
She wasn't gonna do it. She wasn't willing to explore like that. But she found somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, how the fuck does that happen? Hell no, I ain't finna link up with no bitch. But I'm gonna go find one though. What the fuck?
Me to find the girl, so you have to do all the work, just like he told the lie. He wanted you to find the girl, talk to her. If that's what she was good with, then introduce her to him, which I don't know how the hell that was gonna play out. Because
well, this is the part we heard, I think, when I had finished my live and skipped through, because I explained that you pick the girl because it's gonna be problems if he pick her, and you're gonna be, because you were in girlfriend mode at the time, so you thought you was the girlfriend. So if he picked her, you would be wondering, is this a bitch he always been talking to? Has he fucked her before? Is he gonna fuck her after you and all of that? So if you pick the woman, you won't like. If he picked a woman, you be like, is she prettier than me? Why you all of that shit? So that's why the guys will let the girl pick. So it won't be none of them issues. She picked what she was attracted to, or she picked what she thought I would like.
can I take a woman that doesn't know who she's going to go lay with? Let's be honest. Who's gonna sign up for that?
Several people.
So,
all them niggas that did freak outs with Cassie and Diddy, they signed up for it. That's who.
Yeah,
I'm not really into women, because if I get one unclean, and then it's gonna mess things up for me. So I'm just a germ thing. It's a situation. Who knows? I don't know what'll happen, but for right now, I'm just not really all that.
It's just too far. That's just too far. So,
but that's what he wants.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: outside of him wanting to have sex with two women, I guess at the same time, was there anything else that he suggested that was for you? It was a no.
For me to do, that was a no. He didn't want me messing with anyone else.
Okay.
That was a no. And I don't.
I'm saying for you, where you said no, that's not something that.
Oh, then he, like, as far as the act, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I don't really like people playing with my butthole, and he's into that.
Okay.
Did I go too far?
No, it's just that this. Listen, I've always said that, and people can do what they want to. What I'm saying is that if there is a couple and they've been together and they want to explore, okay, I get that. But this is a scenario where Umar, you see what I'm saying? He lives a sexually promiscuous lifestyle, and he wants to do these things with people that, in my opinion, he doesn't know well enough, and it's so far over the top, especially if it's someone that you don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You old ass nigga. That's what that's what the new generation is into. That's what these hoes is into, sir. I don't know if you know this, but it's a whole wave of women, all colors, walking around with butt plugs in their ass 24/7, sir. The motherfuckers light up and everything. Some of them got spinners on them. You just fucking old, nigga. It's the world is not hiding their sexuality and the freaky shit they do now. Back in the day, really, they wasn't hiding it. It just wasn't a way for motherfuckers to be. It wasn't known unless you watch porn. But ain't nothing new that these folks doing. Anal and shit ain't nothing fucking new. He don't know these people, so he trying to do some freaky shit. Yeah, maybe if it was your wife and you're exploring, nigga, shut the fuck up. It's called sex, my guy. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
You can't get to that level with him. And I told him, like, we can have some conversations, we can talk about some things, but you don't want to have the conversations in order to have those. You just want, and I even told him, I said, I would be willing to back out and get you somebody that can find you girls like this. So that you can,
oh my Lord, that's it. Oh.
But I can't.
She was ready to be the recruiter. She was ready to be the bottom bitch.
I can't be involved with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not, that's the extent of my help.
Yeah, and I remember it just comes to mind now that you're saying this. I remember when he had his beef with Tariq Nasheed. One of the things he alleged that
she was down.
Like to have people play with his backside as well.
He's the same way, and I can't do it. I'm like, what if something's out down there lingering around? I can't do it.
Yeah. But you saying you can't do it, but you said you did it. You said he put your hand down there and you did it. You said that's what he likes, man, and you did it more than once. But now you can't do it after you've done it.
I can't get down like that. I can't. He's talking about, I don't know. He done put it out there. So if he didn't want nobody to know, then he shouldn't have. But he wanted, and I do believe that he has taken oral sex from a man before.
What the fuck? Now here we go. Now she just said one of the ways that you discredited a black man was she said Umar told her that Lennon was gay and played with kids. She said that didn't sit right with me because one of the ways you discredit a man is by saying he gay or a pedophile. And she just said this man has received oral sex from a man. She doesn't have proof of this. She said she believes it. She don't have proof though, but she just literally said, I believe he done had oral sex from a man, calling him gay. There's no getting around that.
I don't know. He done put it out there, so if he didn't want nobody to know, then he shouldn't have. But he wanted, and I do believe that he has taken oral sex from a man before.
Well, hold on now, sis. Don't we okay, listen.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, I don't want to say stuff that,
can't be proven.
I mean, how do you know that a man's jaw is stronger than a woman? I don't know.
What was the context that it was being said? Because if he was talking about just anatomy and biology, it is. The features show that they're strong. You have some strong face ass men. So she believed he had oral sex from a man because he said a man's jaw is stronger than a woman's, but she ain't providing no context around how he said it. This is 2025 dealing with black women.
I don't want to say stuff that,
I mean, how do you know that a man's jaw is stronger than a woman? I don't know. If a man says I know what I'm capable of. If a man tells you that your jaws are not as strong as men, then that's what I'm thinking.
That's what Umar said?
Yeah. And I asked him and he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, why would you say something like that? I just looked up and I was like, why did you what? And I was like, I can't, because this might have been in the other direction, and I can't. I think.
So she's saying she was sucking his dick, and he just randomly said to her, "A man's jaw is stronger than yours, but keep sucking my queen."
About cheeking the condom, he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute." I told him about in the other direction, and I can't. I think I told him about cheeking the condom. He's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Wait, hold on, wait a minute." I told him about spermicide. He's like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh no, this is not
I don't know about the first thing she talking about. And you typically use spermicide or jelly when you finna get hit bare It's a form of birth control.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't know enough to be, like you said, no, he shouldn't be out
I
here.
know about the sponge. Walgreens used to sell them just. I don't think they sell them no more.
You're playing around.
Yeah.
Because he don't know how to safe play. He doesn't know how to safe play.
Was there any experiences that you had sexually where you felt as if you questioned whether or not it was something that you should have done with Umar?
You say that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, was there anything that that you questioned about sexually with Umar, that you would afterwards you were like, maybe I shouldn't have done
Yeah. Yeah. The first time I was like, yeah, maybe. And then when we had an incident.
The first time, but she kept going back for more. He ain't fucked her just one time. He fucked her several times. The text messages show differently. Her mouth saying one thing, but the messages Umar put, these were Umar put up, show differently.
Where I don't know what he was doing back there, but I told him, I was like, well, we could try. Well, there's two things. Well, I told him we could try one thing, and he was like, okay. And so we tried that, and then I noticed he didn't go to the bathroom, to kind of like put the condom in the toilet. I'm like, where's the condom at? He was like, huh? I said, where is the condom? And then the condom was off.
That John was stuck inside her.
I said, yeah, we good. We're good. He forgot. I mean, it's not even that he forgot. I was like, why would you take it off and then take it? Why would you not come out and then take it off? Why would you take it off while it's in? Why would you do that?
I don't understand. That's too far for me. I don't get that.
We had been sleeping. I know he was talking about he wanted to. That's when shit is like stuff got really weird, man. And he started doing like weird stuff. If you've ever, there's certain things that he's not going to be able to do with a woman. It's just not going to be able to happen. And then,
can you give me an example? What you mean by weird stuff?
Like he's going to have to accept. It's not even weird. Okay, so things got weird when he did that incident, when he didn't want to. We decided to do the soul. He asked me about the soul tie thing, and I was like, okay, let's do it. That was when we weren't going to use anything, and then we were going to just do whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was okay with that, and I was okay with that. I thought we were okay with that. Like I thought the conversation was going.
That means hidden bear.
Executed. Taking the condom off and then like leaving it in was too much.
Okay, when you say
I don't think he took the condom off and left it in, ma'am. I think what happened was he was hitting it, Jack. The condom slid off. And sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't. It just depends on how we feel in the moment. And sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. But yeah, it came off. He didn't take it off and leave it in you, bitch. That motherfucker got stuck while he was pumping 9 times out of 10.
But then leave it in where?
In me.
I told you the condom got stuck.
I clenched up, and that's how I was like, no.
The condoms get stuck. It happens sometimes. I done had to pull a condom out of many a damn time. Or tell the motherfuckers to go in the bathroom and squat and cough until the motherfucker slide down. I done had it happen before, several times, several different women. It happens.
Okay. And
there's some women watching this that has some condoms stuck in them before.
You clenched up, or are you talking front or back?
I'm talking about.
I know my good sis, truth, not Sister Terry Clarence, though. Sister Terry Clarence ain't had no condom stuck in her.
Front.
Okay.
The back is not possible, William.
Don't text me neither.
This is just, it's mind boggling. I don't, because you said he forgot. How could he forget that?
He didn't forget. He was trying to leave the condom. I think he's done this to get kids before. He's like one of those people. He'll finish.
Ma'am, if the condom is stuck inside of you, how is you gonna get somebody pregnant? It's a blockage. Because like I said, most of the time when that jet come off, We be just a pumping, and then we be like, damn, this shit feel good. And we'll look up and the condom is already gone. So right there's a blockage between your uterus and whatchamacallit. So yeah, there's no babies going on there. Like all the skeet get trapped by the condom, whether it's inside it or in front of it. And when you pull it out, it just all comes down with it. So no, ain't getting no baby that way. It's actually blocking the sperm from moving up because it's in the way.
And then he'll take it off and leave it in.
To get kids to try to impregnate?
Yeah.
This shit sounds stupid. And this dumbass nigga, he believe in what this stupid bitch say. That how the fuck does a condom being left inside of you and the nigga skeeting, whether inside the condom or outside the condom, how is that a trick to get somebody pregnant? It seems like he would remove the condom out the way to keep it from blocking. He would just take that motherfucker off in general and hit you bare. If he was trying to impregnate you, not leave the condom in. What you saying, the nigga poked holes in the motherfucker?
I asked when we first, and I forgot to tell you this, when we first came out there, I brought my medical records and everything, because I don't know, I'm not used to being like that. So I was like, here's my medical. He didn't want to see it. He didn't want to see nothing. He didn't. And it was pretty disciplined. Like he was pretty disciplined about himself and everything. And I saw like some good hygiene things, and I was like, okay, this is somebody. But then he just started getting sloppy. I think it's when he's high. Like when he's high, it's not the same. He doesn't perform the same. He's just not the same person. Mm-hmm. And I think he has to always.
But she can't prove that he gets high because she said she's never seen him do any drugs and or drink. She's never seen him drink or do drugs. But she just said when he get high, he can't perform.
Like always, it can never be from the hotel straight to me. I'm not from the hotel, the airport straight to me. Mm-hmm. He goes always to go get whatever he's going to get, and then come in. And then he comes in, he's a different person.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, who knows what because he actually did talk about in a previous video how you have to be men. He was giving us as advice that in order to make love properly, that you need to get high. He says being up to being in. In other words, you get high, then up so that you can be in penetrate.
Wow. See, that's what I said. Y'all knew a lot. There's still stuff that I'm finding out from watching him. I've been having them asking him like just conversation wise in the bed. I'm just asking him questions, and he don't want to answer them. But I'll go back and I'm like seeing footage where he done talked about, mm-hmm. And I'm like, why? And then he brings up pillow talk. Goes out the window for all the stuff we've done.
Speaking of pillow talk, you did say that you would text and it would be like sexualized text messages.
Oh yes, our texts are off the chain. That's why I said if anybody got my phone, oh Lord.
But what stands out in terms of sex?
Umar ain't saying shit.
I wouldn't share any of it because it's all out there. I don't mind saying anything. He's an emoji person. I don't know if he's probably like finishing himself off or something. And I'm thinking he's on the road. We're, like sexting and he's on the road and he's got pictures. So he's taking care of himself. Mm-hmm. So, I think, and I'm under, so I'm making it as erotic as I possibly can. I don't just walk around.
But you don't care about this nigga. All right, Cassie.
Like this, but I can get where I need to go. If he's feeling it, then he emojis it out. And if he's not, his hands are busy, so he can't write paragraphs. Mm-hmm. I was like, I know you want to put a picture on me. Don't you want to focus on this?
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't hear that because the firework. What did you say?
I started laughing. This is all just trying. Okay, so I know you want to put pressure on me. Don't you want to put it in my mouth? I talk so much shit. You won't play. What's wrong?
That's from Umar?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's very light. That's very light. Sometimes it's even like if you say I need feminine energy, then I'll start talking, and then I'll work graveyard too.
And this the killer, Jan. I know you mad at me.
You should have never put this shit out. I'm about to blow up your spot, bro. Yeah, you bomb first, I'm a bomb last.
How did he bomb first when you went on a platform talking about him? He put these messages out while you were on the platform already talking about him. And again, how do these messages make him look bad? None of the shit she talking about, other than him being a hoarder and shit of that nature, that's about it. What is these text messages of her being freaky and him sending fire emojis back and him possibly jacking off to him? How does it make him look bad? That's man shit.
And I
gotta tell you too.
Okay.
Now, Boosie, I don't have a thing for Boosie, but I respect that man. His intellect is like he's really good, and I'm an entrepreneur, so I just like him. He must have thought I liked him. He shrugged him at the Oxford debate so bad. That was the main person he needed to get up on so he can help him with the school. I'll tell you another one. This is to a girl about a girl's picture. She's perfect for you. 5, 15, 25. Clean it up and lock her in. Love is in the air. It's going to be an amazing summer. That girl was cheating.
How does it make it look bad that you was recruiting hoes for him? Unless y'all is trying to diddy this man. Glad he didn't fuck nobody with you.
Good together.
Who said that?
That was a girl with some sunglasses on.
No, he said, who said that? She said that, Lennon. She was telling him that this a good girl for you. You should try to get her.
Her in. Love is in the air. It's going to be an amazing summer. That girl she and him look good together.
Who said that?
That was a girl with some sunglasses on, and I just thought that she would be great for him. And I was telling him, clean it up, clean your act up, get yourself together, and lock it in. And then I was sending him, damn, the haircut is sexy on you. I wouldn't have seen the pictures. I said, anytime you want him.
Yeah, he posted that damn the haircut picture on you is fire, and you also sent a picture of your ass.
Questions asked, I give it, and that's one thing I do. Like when he comes in, I just go straight to it because I don't give him any problems on that end because I know that's what he wants.
So people were asking. I'm sorry, sis. People were asking when you say Boosie, who are you talking about exactly?
Not little Boosie. I'm sorry. Boosie is a Boosie Thembakuwayo. He is a South African. He's he's a motivational speaker. He's like a supreme entrepreneur. Like,
and you're saying he was at the debate?
Yeah, he was one of the other men at the Oxford debate. If you have a business, follow that man. He is the truth. And I tried to get Umar, like, you need to, and I was going crazy on his voicemail, like, oh my God, okay. Like, I like him a lot. But not like anything like, yeah, I admire him. I admire his backstory. He is a Christian. I don't do the subgroups. If you're a good person and you for black, I'm all for it. But yeah, I sent him a lot of. If you have been with me, I know a lot. Oh, he was getting mad. Let's see. I wanted to send that one. It's just all over. I have texts where I'm getting in his butt about stuff he does.
I don't see that word. Lord Jesus, no, please, we're gonna leave that one right there.
He is, and even if he is, I would prefer him to come out. There are some things that were kind of suspect. Just come out and be who you are.
Here we go. She calling them gay.
Now he's called me gay many times, and I'm not gonna do that.
Maybe he was hoping you was.
Well, the thing is, I know that when he said that I was attracted to him and all this kind of stuff, if you're heterosexual, you're not going to be talking like this, period. Again, let me be clear. I'm not questioning his sexuality, and I'm not going to do him like that. But you said that there were some things that you saw that were... Finally,
Lennon is fair and be like, hold up, bitch, you ain't got no proof of this. Unless you got some proof, you got some pictures, you done seen him with this nigga, you done been in his phone and seen gay porn, this nigga did... What we need some goddamn proof. We don't give a fuck what you believe.
We're kind of suspect, and one of the things you said is how you mentioned how men's jaws are stronger dealing with what we oral sex. What
Yeah.
else? What else did you experience or hear him say or see him do that made you kind of question?
When he started playing with my butthole, I was like, oh no, we ain't doing that. Like you're in a bed.
Again, it's a whole wave of women, literally thousands of them, that walk around with butt plugs in their ass. What the fuck? Women like anal. You don't. That's fine, but that doesn't make him gay, because there are a lot of women that like it. And that's the main reason they're wearing the butt plug, to have that ass ready for their man's penis. And he's talking to this nigga 50 and she 45, and she's acting like this shit is weird.
And I was like, nah, I'm not, because I'm not doing that, because I'm just not that. I'm not into that with him. But he was like, why not, or something, and I was like, no. He needed me to tell him I love you, I love you, I love you. He always needed I love you. He needed me to constantly stop doing, if I'm going down on him or whatever. He always needed to hear I love you. I'm not leaving. None of that. Like he needed that.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah. So he was making you suck his dick and say, I love you. I'm not leaving you. And he broke up with you. It was sex talk. It was sex talk. It was to help him nut.
He told you, please, tell me that.
He was like, do you love me? Like, he would stop me and be like, do you love me? And I was like, yeah, I love you. I got love for you.
My goodness.
She planning this shit out
now.
now.
Serious talk about
he needs it in order to get going.
That's what
Then how are you messing?
That's what I said. It's sex talk. He needs the sex talk to get him going. But you knew it was just a sex talk thing. You know he wasn't serious. So why the fuck are you bringing it up?
Well, maybe he needs all of these women to love him.
Yeah.
He's very tender, though. He's a tender dumpling. There's he can't take.
Nah, she didn't call the nigga tender.
He can't take me all, not even me, but just oral. He can't take it all the way out. You know what I mean? He can't. He has to stop. He gets cringed up and stuff. I'm like, relax. It's
yeah, I don't understand that. And I mean, we're already here. I wasn't expecting it to get.
I'm sorry.
We're already here. No, we're already here.
I'm not trying to disrespect anybody in the.
No, it's not.
I don't want people to be like, oh my God.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? That he gets. What are you saying? He gets upset or he gets disgruntled?
No, he just gets.
She's saying he be running from the head. That's what she's saying. He be running from the head. It happens.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm like, relax. You just make. I don't know how it feels for men, but he can't. You can't go from start to finish with him on that level, because he has to break and stop. And he's like, oh my God, that's too much. I can't take that or whatever.
He don't want a nut right there, so he stops. He ain't trying to come. He want you to keep sucking that dick. Again, what's wrong with that? She act like this is a bad thing. He still end up busted. You see, he can't go from start to finish because there's pauses in between. He'll be like, hold up, hold, shit feel too good. Hold on, wait, God damn it. Okay, now you can go back. Niggas do that when they fucking to keep from nutting. You be like, hold up, I ain't trying to nut yet. Hold up, shake your ass, hold up, let me pull out, shake your ass, play with them titties. Let me see you play with yourself. Then you go back in, you buy yourself a couple minutes.
Yeah, he was pointing and stuff.
How am I younger than both of these motherfuckers that got more sexual experience and more tapped in? And she's only 5 years. Well, no, she's 3 years older than me.
And you gotta guess. You gotta be in sync to guess what he wants.
What do you mean pointing?
Like he wants me to turn, because he likes to play with my bottom while he's getting head.
Because you got a fat little booty, so he want to rub it. He want to play with the pussy. He might want to stick his thumb in your booty. Again, what the fuck is wrong with this? This is normal sexual activity that she is describing. Am I missing something? Am I wrong here?
Yeah, he likes that. He likes that. That's his shit.
I don't even get that. Real talk.
He likes that. He likes.
I don't get that, man. Shut your. See, I was about to call you gay, but you not gay, but you know what I mean, nigga. Shut your gay ass up. I'm not calling you gay though. I know you happily married, wife, all the kids. I get it, but what you just said with gay hair, I don't get that, nigga. I'm assuming all the kids you got. I'm assuming you've had your dick sucked by your wife. I'm sure your wife, you've been laying down on the bed, and your wife comes on the side of you and starts sucking that dick. Are you meaning to tell me you have never played with her pussy, stuck your hand either around her or up under her, and played with her pussy and or booty? You've never done this with your wife. Fuck anybody else, just with your wife. In all the years y'all been married, you've never done this. I don't understand that. What? He want to touch your body while you're sucking his dick. Yes, I want to play with the titties. I want to play with the pussy. If you down with it, I want to stick my finger in your booty hole. I want to do all that while you sucking my dick. Yes, I do. I want to enjoy the view. I want to see your motherfucking arch.
He likes, I don't know, this thing between my leg. He likes to like.
What the fuck?
He likes to rub your inner thigh. Maybe that has to do with having big thighs. He likes the bigger thighs.
Women like the shit. It didn't make you wet with him rubbing your thigh. Again, you was probably moaning like a motherfucker while he doing it. Now you sitting here acting like it's something weird. So rubbing your gal's legs and thighs before you eat that pussy and or fuck her is weird. According to this 45-year-old bitch.
Why? I was like, and I made a comment. I was like, oh, look at you being a chubby chaser. And he's like, you crazy. He was like, I love fat girls. And I was like, okay. And it's in text because I'm like, well, what we're not going to do, you know, like, I don't want you doing all of this, whatever. And trying to make me feel some type of way. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? He's like, I love fat girls. I love fat girls. I was like, I've never seen you pushing up on a fat girl. You're not a chubby chaser. I know what type of women you like. You might like to sleep with them, you know what I'm saying? But that's not your pick.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, in order for him to sleep with them, he has to be attracted to them. It's something about the one that he is about to sleep with that he's attracted to. So you're arguing with him on something that you just said he does. Because he could sleep with the big booty girls as well as him sleeping with the fat girls. He can do both. Or if he didn't like fat girls, he could just not sleep with them at all.
Evidently, he likes certain things. He likes I guess it just has the butt has to be there. I don't think he really cares about the size.
Okay, is there anything else in terms of sexually that you thought that Umar asked for or that he engaged in that made you kind of take a step back and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out here that he's bisexual.
He gets like his overly happy is like in the room, like he's very comfortable with being naked and not. I won't say he's dancing, but he kind of like if he feels safe and he's happy, then he gets he's like he might get a little over the top, like some guys get up and they start.
So. Because he's comfortable being naked in the room and possibly giving his woman a striptease, that's a sign that he's bisexual? What the fuck are we doing here, Lyndon? That's the response she gave. If she ain't saying the nigga bent over twerking, what the fuck are we talking about?
Rapping or whatever, then he gets up and he gets excited. One girlfriend said that her husband gets up and he thinks he's a rap star after they, girls talk. So I never said either, but
it's inspiring.
It's more like he likes to like do that dance, like the dance he was doing when he was eating. It's like he got some good food.
Yeah, well, food and sex, there's a thing with Umar, they're intertwined.
I just said don't do it like when you're naked. Don't do that.
Okay, now, real quick, I have to say this. Everyone who sees this, everyone in the Cookie Press chat, I just want everyone to know that I am not here to question Umar Johnson's sexuality. This is a sister who had particular experiences with sexual experiences, and some of those experiences had her question Umar's sexuality. But in no way am I saying that Umar is homosexual or that he's bisexual or anything like that. If it's possible, yes. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to put that on Umar because if he's not, then that wouldn't be fair. And even though he's done that to me, saying that I'm a homosexual when I'm not, I don't want to do that to him. It's an issue of integrity. So I just want to say that.
And I've never caught him with the man. I've been in the phone. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know. But I do, everybody is different, in their, and he took my safe space, so I'm, kind of removing his. If he is. I just, I don't have any feelings. I wouldn't feel any, well, I don't like him, but, I don't have any feeling about it. But if he's a little bit more giddy than most people are after, and while he's naked, that's just the way he is.
Yeah.
And he got mad because there was an incident that happened. I didn't even know I did it, but I had a picture. I don't even know how it happened. But I had a picture because I think I was just like in the moment, and we've been like doing so much sexual stuff. I just like, oh, that's hilarious. And then clicked, and he's like, I'm a revolutionary. And I'm like, I wasn't doing it to make you mad. It's a whole text thing about it. Oh my God, he stopped talking to me for about a month.
I don't understand. What was it that made you upset?
I wasn't trying to do anything bad. We were just in a moment. He was giddy and he was dancing around the suitcase. I was like, and so I took a picture, but it wasn't not to to go crazy on me. I think he thought I was gonna expose him with the picture, but I was like, no, that's not. We were in a moment. It's like, I don't know.
Well, what was he dancing around naked or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was kind of doing the how that guy was dancing on your intro. He's kind of doing something with his hands.
He was doing the baby boy dance.
I thought it was funny, so
he was doing the beat the pussy up dance.
Picture. Okay. All right.
So, I don't know. That might be something that men do. I have a lot of experience with men, so I don't know. I have, what I have, but I don't have.
Well, shut the fuck up. Talk about what men do then, or like and don't fucking like. When you just said you don't have a lot of extensive experience with men. Shut the fuck up then.
Catalog of men that know that this is normal behavior when they date. It doesn't mean that they're bisexual or gay. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
but bitch, when he asked you what are some of the experiences that made you think he was bisexual, that's what the fuck you named. Now you done changed your since. Good, Lennon. I'm glad you pointed out that he did me like that, but I ain't gonna do him like that. I'm not calling him gay. I'm asking her questions about why she said it. But when he first asked, that's the answer she gave. And now that Lennon said, I'm not gonna call him gay if I ain't got no proof, now she didn't change her stance up. Well, it doesn't make you gay if you're dancing around and stuff like that. Well, why the fuck did you bring it up? She tried it. She saw he wasn't with it. She okay, I ain't with it. I'm gonna stop. After you already tried to put it out there on more than one occasion.
It's odd to me. I don't.
Yeah, it seems odd to me because I'm trying to go to sleep. To be real with y'all, afterwards I'm trying to go to sleep. That's just me.
He go to sleep sometimes, or sometimes he get powered up and he start talking about stuff, or he wouldn't want to talk. He just. We had one incident where that girl threw the bag at him in Savannah, and I was like, you got off. Thinking in my head, I was like, you got off the phone with me and you had that girl come down. I know that girl because you already done said.
But why do you care though? You wasn't fucking with Umar like that. You knew your role, but you cared about him getting off the phone with you going to get up with the bitch in Savannah. This is something you wouldn't bring up if you knew your role and you wasn't taking him seriously, and it was just sex.
For some time now, you like big girls, so I put her through that, and I'm seeing how you act to your daughter. So if you let that woman get drug up out of there, you knew, instead of just be like, give me a moment, y'all, and step to the side and talk to her and see what was going on. I think what happened is I think that girl, he did the stonewall thing with the girl that she didn't know what it was. Because it threw me off the first time he did it too. Mm-hmm. It's not him gone. I thought he ghosted me like a couple of times, but it's not him gone. And that's why I said I only have two things that I say: don't do the Irish spies and don't do put people in my space. But he'll do this thing where he'll just shut down. And it's something that you said or you did. He doesn't know how to tell you, hey, you messed up. I don't like that or something. He just shuts down. And then you could say, hey, how's your day? Just on a whim. And he'll be like, I'm good. And he's over it.
Yeah.
That's just how he is.
Let me ask, and I still have maybe about 5 more questions. Let me ask you this. Was there anything that Umar, outside of him wanting you to find another woman so that he can have what they call a menage?
Yeah.
A threesome. Yeah. That's all I know. Okay. So, listen, I have to be focused, and I ain't got enough hands. I ain't got enough feet. I ain't got enough.
Yeah, he said in the text, he's like, I don't want you on her. I'm like, what the hell am I doing when you getting busy with her? What am I doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Well, you could possibly get your pussy ate by him. There could be sex toys and vibrators involved. It's a whole bunch of shit that you could be doing while this is going on, ma'am. He could be taking turns on y'all. Put the timer on. That's how. What the fuck? Bitch, watch some porn and find out what you're supposed to be doing while this is going on. Like, nigga, pour some baby oil on them folk or something. Shake your ass. Suck his dick, lick his balls while he fucking her. It's a whole bunch of shit you could be doing. You don't have to just be a spectator, ma'am.
What my job is in that. That's why I said I'm gonna be standing there awkward. Like,
he didn't ask you to bring no baby oil, did he?
Hold her hands or something. He told me to bring the shea butter.
He don't even know how to say shea butter. This son of a bitch. I'm done. I am done. This bitch don't know how to say shea butter. She said the shea butter.
He didn't ask you to bring no baby oil, did he?
Hold her hands or something. He told me to bring the shea butter.
The shea butter.
You're not gonna believe this. I'm telling you, this stuff goes for days. The TSA took it. I had so much shea butter. They took
my God. Yeah, you was trafficking that shea butter like
you should know by now that you can only have a certain amount. You can't bring a whole. The container has to be within a certain size limit, ma'am. Or yes, they will take it because it's over their size limit.
We're gonna be all cleaned up.
I'll just play.
We're gonna be cleaned up, sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
What is shea butter cream? Don't nobody want no nigga. You need the shit that look like paste, the yellow stuff. Ain't nobody using no liquid shea butter. The fuck? That ain't the real African shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me to bring the shea butter. I forgot all about the shea butter. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
That's the only good thing Africa produces is shea butter.
Shea butter.
Did y'all know Q went live for 2 hours talking about nothing after I ended my live? I ain't got time for that, lady. I see Silas got on her ass again this morning. I shared it on my commune wall. Y'all go check that out.
Chapman said Rico. Umar said he's sitting in mama closet. He's so mad right now.
I'm like, you shouldn't have never came for my kids, bro.
Yep, real talk.
You came for his mama and you ain't told shit. This ain't shit that makes him look bad.
Every damn thing, because this is not recent stuff. I've been sitting me him that had worse than what got us here. We have had worse things, but when somebody has told you you are, he called me a demonic. What did he call me? He called me.
I saw this.
Yeah, he called me an evil demon. Threw some scriptures at me. I'm like, you don't even know the Bible. Like,
at least he ain't call you no bitch. That's what I would have done. At least he ain't call you that.
You definitely ain't living by it, that's for sure.
Oh, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And I literally just got through taking care of your mother. Are you that evil?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask, so that we can close up on the sex part, and I want to finish. There's like,
I'm sorry, Lyndon. I'm not into the sex part.
It's real, and I've stated many times that Umar, he has these proclivities and that he's a sexual deviant.
Very much so.
And it's not just because he wants to do certain things outside of what we would kind of classify as normal sexual behavior. is that he wants to do this with any woman that he can find. And
y'all never had a threesome, so how is he a sexual deviant?
And sexually exploiting women all around the world. That's a serious issue. So
especially if you're thinking that this is the way it was told to me. That there, and I understand we were being safe. I'm thinking the way that he is about himself, he's requiring that. And I'm thinking that it wasn't until I saw, and I'm not saying anything about Suki, but I'm saying the type. You see what I'm saying? I know Suki probably keeps her body in tip-top condition. But and even though she's free with her, sexuality, I don't even judge her off of that. But it's the type. He has a certain type of woman that he is drawn to. And I am almost see how I am. I would never talk about any of this before he talked about it. So, but behind closed door with one sexual partner, we can go to the moon. If fried chicken came into it, so be it. But
except for anal.
He doesn't have that discretion. He doesn't have that discretion at all. And he didn't even, he doesn't think about all of the other women that you are messing with, like their safety. Because I told him, I was like, are you taking out the condom with anybody? I asked him all of these things. We had these conversations. He was yeah, like a dog whenever they had that bump on his lip. I asked him about that. I asked him about it again. I asked him about it in person.
What did he say?
He was appalled in the room. And then he skipped over it when we were, but at that time we hadn't had sex again, but he skipped over it this recent part when I brought it back up again. I was like, what the fuck is on your lip? Like, what is going on with your lip? I've seen it in Hidden Colors, but I didn't see it before I met him, or it was a long way down the road. My girlfriend told me, but and he's just like, don't ask me nothing about, or he'll try to make it out like you don't have the right to ask. Like, I do, and thank God I haven't had a chance to get with him again since that me asking the second time. It wouldn't have been no playtime.
I understand. Let me ask in terms of the sex part. Outside of Umar wanting the menage a trois type of thing, and then also the backside stuff that obviously he's I guess has a proclivity towards. Was there anything that he attempted to do or wanted you to do that you were just not comfortable doing? Anything else? The
anal was a problem because of his it's not even really his size. It was the size and the width. It's like I wasn't interested in that. And then I think that's what made him want to start playing back there. And then it became an obsession. And I was like, every time I was like, well, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a thing if that's what he needs in order to get where he's going. But I'm not somebody really interested in having. And then I'm thinking about like him eating after and stuff like that. Because I had to tell him, I was like, go wash your hands. You just got to be playing with my butt. Go wash your hands.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that he would be back there playing and then go and eat without washing hands? Yeah, if I let him, he would have picked up that piece and went straight in. I was like, no, go wash your hands. You got to be playing with my butt. My butt is clean. But I've heard this, that you can get pink eye from farting, at somebody's face. It's particles. Just go wash. That's sorry. All right. I tell you, it's wild. That's all I can say. But the thing is, and we're adults here, and people can have whatever it is that they're interested in. But I just want to reiterate that Umar is the one that opened this up by posting those text messages.
He did. That's what it is.
She was on your live when he posted the text messages. What the fuck? She was talking shit about him first. What do you mean? She opened it up. Well, by that logic, everything, she opened herself up to what the fuck he posted because she was on live talking about him. Where's his live talking about her? I've been looking. He said one was coming. I ain't seen shit yet.
Never hit my ex or anybody, never, ever break that secret. I know there are people, and this isn't even sexual, just there are people that I have, and people know this about me. So if I'm talking like this, you done did something to me. I literally have a whole business.
So if you're being posted, then you did something to him. Again, this is her throwing a rock and being mad that a nigga shot her. You shouldn't have been fucking with him and hit him with the goddamn rock.
holding personal, private things. I'm not somebody just to come out, but he has. This is like he did this. Why would you put that stuff up to shame? Let anybody else tell it. They don't even. They probably, if they know me, they don't know too much about me. They're trying to Google now to try to figure out what they can come up with. I'm just not out there. Like, I'm a very private, closed off person. If I'm in spaces with people that are known or not known, their business is safe with me always. This dude brought this on himself when he came for my kids. Even the text messages about myself, I could have ate that. But my kids, that's off limits.
But yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that he's.
But his mama ain't off limits.
Or bisexual or whatever because of that. I don't see that as anything. That's his life. But he's constantly coming for other people as being.
Everything you're talking about is his life.
Either you're sexually attracted to him or you're not. You know,
and he did that. Yeah, that's the thing though. That's one thing that was weird about one of the yesterday when he was going off the rails and crashing on his Instagram page. He's taken it down since that time. But
the damage has been done.
Yeah, but he said something like I was attracted to him. I don't know what he said. Something like that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if you're a heterosexual man,
why are you alone at times?
Yeah, you wouldn't be talking about how some other guy is attracted to you. That's at least where I come from. You don't do that.
That's the first thing he said about you. I'm like, who is Lynn? And I seen all of it. I'm like, who is this? I didn't know who you were. And he was like, oh, he had an already script laid out. He don't say nothing. He gave me more about you than what he did about the bump on the lip. You know, I keep everything. You got a whole script about Lenny, but you don't have anything for me. Yeah, no. I knew automatically. I was like, okay, he's safe. The same way with RZA. I know RZA just got his having a baby. He says things because I don't know why he says it. Like, are you attracted to these men? Or if you're not attracted to them, find another way. But that attacking your sexuality is that's not it.
Yeah, right. And so what you were saying earlier was that Umar was saying that RZA Islam was gay.
Yeah, RZA's not gay. He's got perfect posture. He's a strong man. I guess I don't really follow him too much. I hope to work with him in the future, you know, like, or what at that time in the future when we were doing events. But I don't think that I knew he wasn't. I thought he was something a way of emasculating me, you know.
Let me ask you this: was there anyone else that Umar had negative comments about that are well known, or that he said that they were gay?
Oh my God. I know it was RZA. I knew we went over that. I knew about you. I know that there's a guy named Gerald Palmer, and I'm gonna have to go. I actually did look up him, but I felt bad. I tried to reach out to Gerald when I did. This is a while ago. I said, well, I have that information, and I had sent it. But he said, hold on to it for me. But I didn't know the context behind all of that. I don't know what happened at a community college. I don't know anything about what happened with that. But I tried to reach out to him to let him know you're on his sites. And for some reason, there's some kind of group of people that are on the net that are like, I tried to go to see what was going on. I couldn't figure it out. I know about, he constantly send me stuff on for Amber. He didn't really talk about Suki, which was strange. He kind of wanted me to stay separate from Suki. I think they might even have a friendship, maybe, I don't know. The situation with Ray, I know Big Nook, we had a conversation about him. I said, did you want to knock him out? He was like, yeah.
Big Nook, you said?
I think, yeah, his name is Big Nook. He's a guy that, it was like a Christian talk show. I'm trying to think of something.
Like, how the hell you spell Nook?
There's a city council.
N-O-O-K.
Not like her. She's in Delaware. I think I sent you her information.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I don't remember her name though. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it in for her bad. And I think that is all. Other people he wouldn't say anything about. Nobody else. I just knew that he wouldn't respond to me about them. But those are the only ones. And the rest of the people that he beefs with is really people in the day-to-day. You know what I mean? Like, or not even his day-to-day, but like people that he has to work, he works around, he'll make comments about people.
Yeah, I have a question concerning that, but this is on the actual document, Word document. But we'll maybe in the future we can get back to it. We'll talk. I'll email you. But if you have enough time to answer about 6 more questions, and then I have super chats to get through, I really appreciate it. Can we do that? That way,
yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah,
tonight for you, and I'm fine.
I really appreciate it. I really do. No. We appreciate you, and you got a lot of love inside of the chat. And you see a lot of the stuff we talked about now. We wouldn't have been talking about it because that's stuff. But Umar, what he did was he posted text messages that were sexual in nature between you and him. But then he also posted a picture that would be considered to be revenge porn.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that before we move forward?
Some people have told me to go after him. There's even about my sons.
Lennon, you sound dumb as hell. That's not porn. Her in her damn drawers. That's not porn.
There's also that's what I was waiting on before I could get in. I was waiting on a guy that normally does a lot of my online stuff because he's better at it than I am, and I have to see these talents. I got some long nails on, but anyway, there is something because I am like a federal employee. I have had to send a text to his phone.
Girl, you a customer service representative at the IRS. Stop making your job seem more prestigious than it is.
Just because I have to be very careful of him, that I never talk to him about taxes. I never, I want to say that publicly too. I've never looked at his taxes. I've never talked to him about taxes. I've never given him advice.
Okay, well, how would you say that they looked into him then? And you said he got a surprise coming. He better be careful if you've never looked into it.
Taxes, I never said I would do his taxes. Anything that has to do with taxes, I have never went near that man or anything. Not even brought it up. But that's a strange one to talk about. He don't think before he moves. He does. And he doesn't investigate before he has conversations. He goes live, he says things, he tells the supporters to do things, or they take them upon themselves, and he doesn't have enough forethought that, doxing certain people, doing certain things. And I sent you that thing of when you Google me, it shows I'm a clerk. I'm a clerk at I've been in I've been out of that position for some time now. That's not up-to-date information. But it's left up. But there's nothing else that's up there. He just needs to be smart. I told him, you sent your followers to look into.
Ma'am, you weren't smart when you came out here and talked about him first. He can prove that you were on a live talking about him when he put out the information. You were on a live talking about his mom's medical condition when he put out your information. You started it.
Your passports and stuff like that. He doesn't know anything about UNAX violations. He doesn't know anything about that stuff. He just talks. And if they work for the government, then they should know enough to be smart themselves. But don't let that man talk you into doing something that can have you in doing federal time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get to these final questions. By the way,
yes, sir.
Cash App is $Iconic Moguls, IKONICMOGULZ. If anyone views this video or you're watching it down, you want to support the sister, please. That's one of the ways that you can do so. So let's do these real quick.
Yes, sir.
And some of these aren't even questions. So hold on a second. Let me scroll down here. Okay. Some of these I think are a little beyond. I should be asking.
I'm an open book. Y'all can see my tail on social media.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and ask these hesitantly. Someone that asks, "What does he smell like during relations? Sweaty?"
He's sweaty.
Okay.
He's sweaty. But he's sweaty. But I was trying to get him to see, and that's another thing. You can tell Umar has not been in a long-term relationship with a woman or doesn't have the ability. He does not have the way his feet look, the way he smells. There's no scent. There's no residue of a woman that was there. You know what I'm saying? Like certain men, I can, look at a man and tell how good his woman is by how he keeps, you shouldn't have to tell a woman to do your feet. She's just gonna do them. Because your feet look bad, they need to be done. And
I don't know. No,
90% of men don't get their feet done.
But I have pretty feet.
She got 5 kids. Start her out.
Yeah, that's no time. What's he been?
And this nigga said, I got pretty feet. I've never heard a man say I got pretty feet. Not a real man. I get to come up with real man rules like you did earlier. And I ain't never heard a real man say I got pretty feet. That's something strictly women say.
feet look bad, they need to be done. And
I don't know, no, I think that, but I have pretty feet.
she got 5 kids, stop her out.
What if baby? But my have really pretty feet, which is almost ridiculous.
I can see your hands that you're well kept. You keep your hands clean. You can look at somebody and tell them to keep themselves up. Yeah.
By the way, you did mention there was and I'm not even going to tell to people what you're saying, but you did say that Umar wears socks a lot. Why does he wear socks?
Oh, his feet are just really bad. His feet they look like this, like he's a demon. Like his feet look bad, and that's not something that you can go to. He needs to see a podiatrist. He needs to see a dentist. He needs to see a lot of things. I'm not a tongue kisser, or I would have knew his dental was off. I'm like, call me crazy, but I just don't be like, I gotta really be secure with you to be like sticking my tongue in your mouth. It's just the aftertaste type thing for me. So I don't know how his dental is, but I can look at his dental and be like, yeah, it's kind of lacking. I tell you ain't said nothing about going to the dentist. You eat a lot of sweets, and then I'm looking at your feet. Your feet are bad. You know, that's something you gotta take an antibiotic from the inside. You gotta fight this shit from the inside. Okay, because I'm not quite sure what you mean by bad. Can you describe what they look like? They just look like feet. They're like you can look at that one picture that he has with the crown on, and with the dress, like the garb on, the African garb, and look at his feet in that picture. You can see it. So he's got a lot of rotten toe fungus. He's got a lot of corns. He's got bad feet, very bad feet. Which is okay, okay for me because my father was in the military. I know how to do feet, but you got to take care of him. You got to have some attempt. And he doesn't. For all him being around all those women, he ain't put no. That's crazy. Well, he basically hit and quit. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's saying he's got this queendom, but the queendom ain't got him. The queendom is slipping. He be wearing these damn shiny ass suits and stuff. Like these girls are telling you that shiny suits is not damn Pee Wee Herman shoes and stuff.
You didn't tell him apparently, bitch.
It's hit or miss on the outfit. I love his head up because it's confidence, Yeah. Yeah, he has big feet. The practice. I love him. I told you all he was fine. He brought raccoon. Oh yeah, boy. Them things. His toes is throwing up gang signs there.
Hold on, y'all.
His left feet is east side 5, his right. All right. Okay, that's wild.
So he got athletes. His feet like a person that plays athletes. All athletes' feet are fucked up.
Wow. Yeah. All right, let me just see if there's any questions from Super Chats. Well, this is wild. Okay, here's a question from way earlier, like 4 hours ago. Someone that asks, this is Miss Parker.
Oh no.
Think he treats his mother this way as some sort of revenge to how he treated him coming up?
Beautiful question. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful, beautiful question. And I'm going to have to say absolutely. I believe that it has a lot to do with it. I really do. It really does. And I think
if you say he comes straight in and take care of her, how is he treating her wrong? And how would that be revenge for how he was raised? I think the better revenge would be to put her in a home and never go visit her.
He just got, and I think it has a lot of the reason why the other kids stay away. I think it's a lot of the reason why he treats his daughter the way. Because I'm telling y'all, his mama looks, they look so much alike. It's almost like looking at his daughter. That if you love your mom, you can look at your daughter and see her. Why? I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's wrong. But it's like you said, there's this extreme level of detachment that he has. Yeah.
It comes out in that Christian, him being
so Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, when you were playing that clip, I was thinking about it. Like she must have maybe probably forced the church on him with his issues or something, or he just is upset with her, maybe for what you never know with kids. He might hold her responsible for why his dad left, you know?
Yes.
You don't know.
Or responsible for his dad that decided to ship him away.
Yeah. Yep. You don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna tell you something about Umar. Umar does not ask questions, he assumes. There's a lot of times when he stonewalled me or shut down based off of an assumption. And we could have easily had a 2-second conversation and cleared it up, but he doesn't have the capability. This is why a marriage is not an option for him, because that requires you gotta stay in it and work at it. He has too many damn options, he thinks. Yeah.
Thanks, Ms. Parker, for the super chat. Anyone else who sent the super chats? Fairchild had access way earlier. Lene, why do you think Shoemake never utilized his 501c3 to acquire a safe home for his mother and at least get a car? That's a great question.
Because he does not. It really is. It's the same reason that school is not up and running. I just don't think he has the ability to see things through from start to finish. You know what I mean? He's not somebody that he can think up a beautiful idea, but he doesn't know how to execute it from start to the steps that go into it, the things that have to be checked, cross-checked. Even when he got that school, or even attempted this mission, he said that it's sent from the ancestors. They didn't tell you how to go about it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Like, your footing is all over the place, and what's crazy is I'm constantly around men that have built things that are this size and bigger. And when I did the event, one of them, and I thought at the time he was hating, but he was like, "That is not how you go about attacking this." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "That's not how you build." He said, "That's a lot of the reason what's going on with Black people is that they build wrong. They're not following the proper steps." And he ran it down to me. It would take a lot, but I was seeing what he was talking about. The whole execution was just off. There's certain things that weren't done before you do this, you know, and it makes you run in a circle. So yeah, his short answer, I absolutely think that's why he hasn't had any success, or he is going to have any success, because he doesn't know the proper steps.
Yeah.
I always wondered why he started driving so late, but he is on the East Coast, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, how late did he drive?
He started driving in his 20s, which was odd to me. Like, even just knowing how to drive.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but remember, he was sent off to military academy.
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know if they offered driving classes there or not. Some of that acts, and we kind of addressed this earlier. No contendo, and thank you for super chat, no contendo. Are you pursuing legal action against Umar for doxing, threats, intimidation, or defamation, pain, and suffering? Did Umar try unwanted advances or touching?
We actually discussed this earlier today. There is, I could, and then by anything that he secures in life, you know, I would have that lying in wait. But at this time, his assets, I would have to spend my own money to go in and get them taken care of.
In other words, no, because he ain't defamed her. He hadn't slandered her. She went on a live talking shit about him. He posted a couple damn text messages and said, "This is why this woman's mad at me and doing what she's doing, because I won't fuck her anymore."
Here's the other thing. He didn't seek. You got to kind of look at how people handle things. He has an avoidance. So yes. I would end up, if he filed bankruptcy or anything, my girlfriend's an attorney, so if he filed for bankruptcy, they could swear for look like for any of his assets or what his money is, I might go through with it and still do it.
So in other words,
but he hasn't shown up to see through the custody battle. He wants to be an attorney. That was your time to show up and fight. Yes. You know, you didn't show up for your daughter. Yeah. You know, you don't have the patience or the insight to see things through, and that would just waste my money. You know, trying to get money from him, but it's not off the table at all.
What about a restraining order? Because he's posting things, revenge porn, that kind of thing.
That is absolutely something that ex parte, and he still texted me today. He sent me text today. You know, yeah, I sent.
You saying what?
He sent me that damn Oscar the Grouch. I made an Oscar the Grouch. I was calling him Dr. Umar. And he sent me what I posted on my page.
And the thing is that I couldn't.
So you're actively fucking with him, but he ain't supposed to respond back. Girl, shut your stupid ass up.
Says, what you sent me today. So you said, how many times did he text you today?
Oh, he sent one. Okay, he sent me some early this morning. He sent me the Mr. Potato Head that you were looking for last night. That you said 10 more minutes 2 hours ago. Go to bed, your wife waiting on you.
Okay, that's one. He watching y'all talk about him, so he said, "Go to bed. You've been talking about me for 3 hours. Take your ass to bed." So he was listening to you actively talk about him, but he wrong. He actually is texting you while you talking about him, and he ain't threatening you. He sent you a Mr. Potato Head, which y'all was laughing about. Then he told you to go to bed. Where's the threat? Where's the intimidation? Where's the harassment? All you got to do is hit the block button, bitch. It's real simple. But you still want to receive his messages. That's how he was able to send them.
Then he sent me the general thing from what we have online, from Open Payrolls. Then he put final warning, like wanting me to stand down. No, I'm not. I've been talking about steps. This has been a long time in waiting. I've been about to get his ass. I gave him a few times to turn things around, but his ego wouldn't allow him to come up out of it. So then he sent my Shaban Rock page, because I know what information he knows. He doesn't know my other names on social media, like anything. But the Shaban Rock or Shaban Stone page, and you can kind of look at the page, kind of just to tell you it's been set up specifically for his idiots that, come for me. And then he said, okay, I tried, let's do it. And then I said, let it rip, boy, you hunting. You was never really that bright. And then I posted something, what a grouch, the Dr. Umar thing, and he sent that back to me. And then I told him he lied.
And this is all happening after she sat on a live stream and talked about him for 3 hours.
About my son's IUP meeting, I sent him the protection for certain roles, which I had to stop engaging with him because I don't want to flip up and say something. So what he knows right now works just for me. That works well for me. It works well for his following. But common sense will tell you it ain't really nothing out here about this girl. And what is out here seems fixed. So I don't know. They can keep going with it. There's nothing out here.
She's trying too hard to convince people that ain't her on them pages. They dummy pages.
Like I told you, I had the guy tell me about how he builds. I've been working with somebody that's very intelligent. They help me build stealth. So that's the best way to build in this day and age. Putting your face and your name and everything on it, that's not always the best thing because things like this happen. So the two investors, they don't know anything about what's going on. They don't follow him. They know nothing about him. You can shout this from the rooftop. I'm still in the game. That's the best way to build.
So how do you know they've never heard of Umar Johnson?
No. The other part of the question was that at any point did Umar try unwanted advances or touching?
Yeah, the kicking. When we were at the house, I was trying to check things off with him because he was acting weird about us sleeping together and then being around his mom too. He was just like no woman I've ever touched has ever been around my mom. He's went into Norman Basie mode, so I was just like, okay, let's just shut the sex out because I didn't want to let her go. But I told him a lot of times. See, he's putting out like I just couldn't get off of him. There's so many texting him about me like, okay, I'm done with this. I might have went back, but still, okay, I'm done with this.
I'm done with this. I might have went back, but still, I'm done with this. A person that's done doesn't keep going back. This is stupid.
Or if you don't want to continue on, or if you don't found your wife, then let me know. You want to quit hooking up, fine, just let me know. There's a lot of that. He never has one text, and I sent all of our texts. There's no text in there saying, girl, stop harassing me, leave me alone, what you doing? The man don't want to be bothered. The man is going to let you know in not so many ways, don't bother me. And he is a very nasty person. If he didn't want to be bothered, he'll let you know. Don't bother me. That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
So because he didn't tell you that he was done fucking with you, even though his actions showed it, you ain't think it was over.
Times when I'm talking to myself, I don't really care because I'm pissed off and I'm venting. It's a lot of times when he calls after. I mean, it's just he played this well in the respect that he was already He was working or dealing with me with a strategy, but once I caught on to the strategy, I beat him at his own game.
Yeah.
How?
He wasn't expecting this.
What game? What game, ma'am? Like, again, the only thing that you it really, him being a hoarder and shit, Lennon said that shit 3, 4, 5 years ago. So that's not telling anybody new. You didn't tell anybody anything new other than he liked fingers in his booty while he getting his dick sucked. That's all you provided. You told the people he was well endowed. You described it. You said he flew you out. You said he put you in hotels. You said he gave you 1,200 here, 1,200 there, 600 here. You ain't say nothing that's embarrassing. You said you was willing to pick holes for him. How was he embarrassed? How did you beat him at his game?
No Contendo asked another. We're almost done, sis. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, No Contendo also asked, did Umar Johnson ever solicit donations from large and or national Black organizations?
And was there unwanted touch? And she said yes, but she didn't say when he touched her and how it was unwanted.
Like NAACP, UNCF, HBCUs, NOI, IUIC, etc. Did he talk down on any of those organizations?
He talked down on the when we had an event. When we had an event, I know he doesn't like the NAACP, but I don't particularly care for them either. They're just non-existent in some spaces. He never spoke about the UNCF. Before I knew he was deranged, I was pushing him to the UN because I was like, yeah, my footing was like to get him to the top. Like I was like, yeah, go to the UN, start. But he never said anything about that. HBCUs, he has been vocal about his dismay for them. The NOI, that is a strange one. I have a lot of respect for them in a way. I do know that after he left the city, they contacted him. And I told him, I didn't tell him, because remember, I'm in loyal. So anything that was going down, I'm letting him know. So they did contact me, but I don't know what it was about. I just got an email.
Why the fuck would the NOI be contacting you? Umar Johnson left the city and the NOI, the Nation of Islam, contacted you. You don't know why, but you told them.
And maybe they wanted, to know some information, and they were probably thinking, I don't know. But they did reach out.
You're saying the NOI emailed you?
Yeah, there was somebody from, and I might have that email still, and I can send it over.
Yeah,
but
are you saying there was someone from the NOI that was at the event, and then later they emailed you?
I don't know. It was a very, from what I showed it to my son, it kind of got me shook up a little bit, because I was like, hey, did you see this? I can't remember the name that was on it. And there were so many weird things happening after that event.
Unless your son shares an email with you, how the fuck would he see it?
Wasn't open for it. He asked me if there were newsy people.
And she didn't tell us what the email said. She looked at it, but like, this doesn't make sense. The NOI contacted her. It freaked her out, but she don't know what it says. She can't tell us what the letter said. She breezed right past it. Let me skip it back.
It was I just got an email, and remember, I'm in loyal. So anything that was going down, I do know that after he left the city, they contacted him. And I told him, I did tell him, because remember, I'm in loyal mode. So anything that was going down, I'm letting him know. So they did contact me, but I don't know what it was about. I just got an email, and maybe they wanted,
I got an email, but I didn't know what it was about. Maybe she doesn't know. How does she not know? And she got an email. Did she not open it? And we listening to this bitch.
To know some information, and they were probably thinking, but they did reach out.
You're saying the NOI emailed you?
Yeah.
Was it what did the email say? Nation of Islam official email?
Somebody from, and I might have that email still in our nation, and they were probably thinking, I don't know, but they did reach out.
You're saying the NOI emailed you?
Yeah. There was somebody from, and I might have that email still, and I can send it over.
Yeah,
But
are you saying there was someone from the NOI that was at the event and then later they emailed you?
oh no, it was a very from one. And I talked to my son. It kind of got me shook up a little bit because I was like, hey, "Did you see this?" I can't even remember the name that.
Were you shook up and you didn't even read the email, bitch? What was there to be scared of? You didn't even read it.
On it, and there was so many weird things happening after that event. He just wasn't open for it. He asked me if there were newsy people coming around,
Nosy
but
people?
I didn't even give him that information, and most people won't because he throws everything up on Instagram. You can't even have like no backdoor conversation.
You was in protective mode, so you told him about the email that the NOI sent, even though you didn't open it. And then he asked you if nosy people were around, and you can't tell him the information, but you volunteered that the NOI emailed you. This shit don't make no sense at this point. She just talking to hear herself speak.
Patience with him, even in respect to anything that is going on with him personally, like anything, because he don't provide a space for it. He cuts himself out. It would probably been a lot of things he could have avoided or got help with or got celebrities to step up. But everything that you post up on it, and that scares people. Mm-hmm. I had even go to just like the people I know, like, look, I gotta go after this dude, and it is what it is. But my colors haven't changed. But he's just he's not. He tells on the tablet instead of just taking it under his hat and be like,
you said you had to ghost your friends to go after this dude, whatever the fuck that means.
Thank you for letting me know. So we can keep you on your toes. He goes and puts it up on Instagram and tells everybody. Like the thing with Ray J, he should have never posted that. That would have been something that you would have had. You checked in, posted up. Now the celebrities know, oh yeah, you a thought checker. Mm-hmm. And they stay clear of it. If they can get money for underhanded stuff, they could have had FBMG up and running.
Yeah.
If they was really messing with him.
Yeah, the other thing though too is he's so messy. Let's say if they did donate, they don't tell him what he might say on Instagram to and just telling the business, and maybe they don't want all that business out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's really messy and sloppy with stuff. That's
very. I gotta stop saying that.
Well, then they would just simply make an anonymous donation.
That bad. I'm sorry, I apologize. That's a slip out. But he is very, very messy. He reminds me of like just like he just has a tone about him that's not masculine at all.
Yeah, he's sassy. He's sassy.
Very, very. He hasn't been around enough like true alpha males. I can tell. To check him on there. Like, no, you don't sit with the women. Even if you see eye to eye, you have to stay in your lane and take that pecking order because that's how you get that out. This is how women are choosing. I knew when I seen certain things in him, I was like, yeah, you're not husband material, my boy. You're popular. You got a lot of clout out here, but everybody don't run off that. You are true liability for me. When
you ran off of it. You mad that the nigga wouldn't just tell you it was over. He just stopped talking to you. What the fuck? He was something. You didn't want to stop talking to the nigga.
Daughter come out and you didn't call back home and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm keeping you on your toes because you guarded something precious to me. Do right by. You didn't have no words. So that let me know that you left your mama unguarded, you left me unguarded, you left your home, your castle unguarded, and you just out.
You still kept fucking with him.
Things like that are not masculine to me.
Yeah.
It's not about pillow talk. It's about keeping you on your toes. No, we don't talk to these people because this is what happened. It's behind closed doors. It's just for your knowledge so you can move better so that you're not causing liabilities for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you.
And you wonder why he didn't trust her with shit. The very thing she's doing right now is why he didn't trust her with shit.
I get that.
Yeah. No, and thanks, No Content, for the super chat. No Content also says, remember the car accident you mentioned? Does he have private insurance? Do you know?
I don't think so. I don't think Umar has insurance. I don't think he has it on in buildings. I think he's like real, like nothing.
She doesn't know. She says she thinks. She doesn't know. This is all speculation. but she got all the goods on him, but she don't know simple shit.
And I'm worried about if somebody, you know, anything happened with like a fire or anything, it'd just be a loss. I don't think he has insurance on them buildings.
I don't either. Did Umar ever mention witches putting a hex on him or anything like that?
He has hinted around. I honestly think that Umar is trying to be or is a warlock. From that room, or he's in the arts. He's definitely playing around with something dark.
None of this shit works.
And I'm not saying that like, you know, voodoo gets a bad rep and all those other things, but I'm talking about like he's playing around with something that he really doesn't.
But you've never seen him do it. So again, this is just speculation. This is what you assume based on what you saw, but what you saw in a room, you're assuming. You have never actually seen him do any of this stuff.
Understand, like he's leaning off.
None of this shit is admissible in court. It's your belief. Your belief could be wrong. What you think could be irrelevant. It could be wrong as well.
The way to the dark side, he's not balancing it out with, you know. I asked my Baba about him, and he was like, "This is crazy," and this is probably the only thing I'm gonna say spiritual. But there was a trip to Philly that I was supposed to link with him, and I was getting a prayer done over me, and they said that nothing that means you any harm will be able to come near you. And it was so many years.
This story fake. What would stop that nigga could got on a bird scooter and came to see you if you wanted to. Maybe the nigga just got tied up with some pussy. Because she's not gonna tell you what happened to keep them apart from each other. In her belief, oh, that's what the prayer was about, him. And this wasn't no prayer to God. This was through her spiritual father, her spiritual Baba, which is into ancestral arts, which is the same thing as the shit she's trying to condemn him for. Talking to the ancestors is talking to spirits because the ancestors are dead.
So many events, and I won't go all into them, but it shook everything, even to the point I had a flood in the room. I had to switch hotels, but he couldn't get to me.
A flood in the room and you switching hotels kept him from getting to you. Like, what does the flood in the hotel have to do with anything? You change rooms. You ain't change hotels. You change rooms. Even if you did change hotels, you sent the nigga the address. Like, this is stupid.
It was like something was blocking him from getting to me, and I was like, "Yep, that says your ass ain't no good." But I was only going back into that space to retain, you know, kind of like the relationship to use it for what it's for. Mm-hmm. I had been checked out mentally over him, you know.
Wait a minute. She just said that she just gave an excuse for why she was back around him. Nobody asked her to be, but she just made an excuse. She said nothing could come around me. And then I realized the prayer that, nope, you ain't no good for me. But I was only going back around to use the relationship for what it was for. I had already checked out. So why were you wasting your time? Money and airfare. And it's supposed to make him look bad. How?
A lot of the text messages I've already checked out emotionally. I'm like, I'm done with it. But I need to get back in because I want to get this. I didn't get to see inside the spot. I just wanted more information. But
you hear this shit? So she kept talking to him as a way to get back. She plotted this. She planned this. Not that he did anything to her. She said she checked out because of character flaws. So he didn't do anything to her. And she's telling y'all that she had checked out in the text messages, but she needed to go back because she ain't seen this, she ain't seen that. So she was trying to get back in and take pictures and get information. Why though? What did he do to her? Listen to this shit, black men.
The text messages about
Umar, ain't no snow bunny did this to you, sir. No Snow Bunny. I just got to point that out because you was reposted Snoop Dogg where you said black queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. Well, another black queen is hemming your ass up.
Pretty checked out emotionally. I'm like, I'm done with them. But I need to get back in because I want to get this. I didn't get to see inside the squad. I just wanted more information. But
you didn't get to see inside the what?
Needed to stop.
Yeah, but I also think though too that the mom, I think that his mother, you cared about, you know.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. I think you still do. I think you still do. But that speaks to your character.
She's funny. I mean, she's a good woman. She's funny. You can tell that she did. You know, she's.
Now, Lennon, I didn't hear you call what she just described as vindictive. You called him vindictive for responding to her being on your platform as vindictive. Yet, when she just told you she had checked out, but she was going back in to get dirt, you didn't call that vindictive. You just let that slide right over your little bald ass head.
Raise her kids, and I have a lot of respect for, you know, she just deserves the best right now, and he needs to get his head in order so he can give that to her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't think he wants to. I think he just sees her as an object to control. And like you said before, it's like he uses her as leverage against like the siblings, that type of thing.
And when that last question you got, it was like he's doing this to get back at him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, you muted. Are you there? Hold on 1 second. Let me see. It looks like her phone muted.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You were talking about the last question about.
I was about to say Umar called it.
One of the questions about Umar trying to get back at his mother.
Yeah, he wasn't doing like. She wasn't the top of his priority. Like, he would have had her meal plan. He would have been like, this is the way I'll take care of her. This is this. You know, he would have been like, come over here so I can walk you all the way through. Because I need to know that you're gonna be good to my mom. Make sure y'all get along, whatever. He wasn't concerned about any of that. All he was concerned about was getting out on that road.
Yeah. Yeah, but also, like I said, I think Umar probably done this with other women, but even for him to do that in the first place, that shows a lack of care and protection. You know, because he just doesn't know. Another woman that you know wasn't as kind and racist as you could have been.
Right, this bitch crazy.
And they're doing who knows what to the mama. And Umar, he's traveling and he has no idea what's going on.
And another thing, Lennon, she acts very much like an elder that has been sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Ain't this a bitch? Ain't this a bitch? Now she's saying this man mama act like a elder that's been sexually assaulted. Does she have a lot of experience? Because she works at the IRS. Does she have a lot of experience dealing with elders that have been sexually assaulted to recognize the signs? And at one point she said Umar did, because she told him, and she said he went and showed her the daily routine with his mama of what he does and how he takes care of her. So he showed you that. You didn't say the refrigerator was empty. You said the refrigerator was full. You said the shelves were stocked. It was an overabundance of food and shit of that nature. So they just junky. That's typical black household. Junky as a motherfucker. But you can't say she's being abused because you ain't saying she ain't getting fed because there's a whole bunch of food there. You didn't say she looked frail. She looked like she hadn't eaten and shit of that nature. None of that. You're talking about the medical conditions that you think she got. You're not a clinician, so you don't know if she got dementia or not. You're talking about she's sunsetting and shit. You using terms and then motherfuckers ask you what that mean and you can't even explain the shit, yet you're using the term. You was the regular bitch, but all of a sudden, now you a motherfucking psychologist. You're a therapist. How the fuck, like, why? And then you think your kids is off limits. This is your second interview. You had already talked about him in the first interview. This one is titled, Survivor Umar Johnson part 5 of 5. Lene returns and tells all. This is on Lennon Honor channel. He tagged in the title. So this is your second video. And now you're saying, after you done called the man gay, amongst other things, now you saying his mama done been sexually abused. But you don't know any of this.
He acts very much like that, and that is the scary part, because she does not. I think if you don't know her and she's telling you, no, you ain't supposed to be doing this, you know, like, I don't know if it's flashback, I don't know if she's confused, I don't know, there's too many things. It's probably best, I know I'm favored, it's probably best that I came out of that space.
Amen.
Because I think
he put you out of the space, ma'am. You didn't leave willingly. The nigga put you out. You would still be dealing with it if he didn't cut you off.
Put on me. I don't trust this man. Like, from where I met him and where I am now, I know my heart was in the right place, but you can't be right with everybody. He's literally showed me that he thinks I'm coming out about him or something. You put me in some precarious situations because you could have really
put your own self in a precarious situation. Didn't know you could have said no when he asked you to take care of his mama. You could have said no. Hell no, nigga. I came to suck your dick and fuck you, not take care of your mama. You put yourself in that position, not him. He just asked. Your dumb ass said yes. You knew this nigga was going on the road for 5 days and you were cool with it. How the fuck he put you in a precarious position when you booked your flight, packed your clothes, hopped on the flight, and took your ass there to let him go on the road?
He did and could still do the fool. I don't know what he has up his sleeve, you know. But here's the other thing that we were wondering him about.
He didn't have anything up his sleeve. He stopped fucking with you and you couldn't take it. You on his op channel for the second time.
Broken, we're talking about. We wonder, how is he on that lead?
You done sent this nigga text messages and we don't know what the text messages say. We just got to take both of y'all word for it. I do know you read one of the text messages that Umar put up. You read that one.
How is he on that lead? Since she's on public housing, but he has assets over a certain amount. He can't.
Well, I'll tell you, he's not on the paperwork for that property.
Then he's not supposed to be there.
No, I know that, and I've been telling people that for years. He's not supposed
to. He has a room and all that.
Now they trying to get the man mama put out. Niggas ain't shit.
That's residing there. You're saying the night. I don't know if the time pauses, but I know that.
But her saying this and bringing this up ain't vindictive. Him allowing this shit and him knowing this information and saying I didn't pointed it out before ain't vindictive. And I get it. He had people set you up like you was gay, called you gay, all that shit. But that's vindictive, sir. It's a very good reason to be vindictive, but it's vindictive nonetheless. And you threw it on him earlier like it was a bad thing. That's why I said all humans are vindictive. Ain't none of us exempt.
You can't be there for more than 30 days at a time. And he said something about, oh, you can't. I think that's why he was such an arrest to get me out of there. I don't know if that's I don't know what, there's just so many things. Like
if you were only scheduled to be there for 5 days and you were there for the 5 days, how was he in a rush to get you out?
When he came in, it was like, you gotta go. Are you packed? Are you ready? Are you ready to go? But I know that there are people that are on.
And she spent 5 days in this junky, smelly house, having been there once before. But that's the worst house in the world. But she was willing to stay 5 days after she saw it the first time and saw it was nasty and junky.
Public housing in Section 8 that have had friends come up for, for funerals and have to stay for 30 days.
And then we supposed to believe she slept in a recliner next to the mama for them 5 days and not in Umar Johnson bed on the Ninja Turtle sheets while he was gone. Girl, stop. You slept with the nigga when y'all was there together you slept in the bed with him. Not nobody believe you slept in there with his goddamn mama. And he was trying to bend you over on the sink bathroom. He's about, stop, your mama downstairs. Exactly. She can't come up here.
That is okay, but what you're not supposed to be doing is residing there. You have $250,000 commercial property, and this woman is taking money, and that don't sit right.
Yeah, well, it's more the value of the property is closer to $450,000. We're talking about the abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. The thing is that, and I've talked about this in the past. He's not supposed to be there. He's not on the paper for the Section 8 houses. I've already looked at that based upon the a complaint from it was a complaint for the tenant because they actually was in the process of evicting his mother because she had not filed the proper paperwork to re-up
her certification.
Yes.
So if she's on public housing, she's supposed to have an inspection. How is that house passing inspection?
They don't. I don't know. It's just the whole situation. Yeah, something right. But the thing I want to say is that Umar's not.
He has a dirty house on Section 8.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, well, I'm sure that there are people who have dirty houses, but in terms of who knows, he may have someone come through to clean up before the inspection. I ain't gonna tell him with this guy, but he's not supposed to be there outside of her hours of care. And then if he was, there's no way that she would qualify for Section 8 housing with him on the paperwork when he's bringing in 2020, for example, over $200,000 in donations. So he's not supposed to be there.
Oh no, baby, that got to be investigated. See, this is why you don't do dirt, because dirt comes back on you tenfold. Because you know how many people are homeless and could take that spot. Not saying she's not deserving of it, but you had enough money.
But again, this ain't vindictive. Oh no, that needs to be investigated. But when he put your shit out here, that's wrong.
And this is what the guy was telling me about the school. He was like, he could have got a grant for the structure of that school and the surrounding. He didn't have to take from already, people that were already, economically disparate to build that school. He didn't have to do that. He could have, and it wouldn't have affected how the school ran or how it operated. He took that money from those people, their last.
Those people gave the money willingly. He didn't put a gun to their head. They gave willingly.
And you fumbled it.
Yeah.
And I'm
just like you bought his books and shit willingly. You said you ain't give him no money, but every time you bought one of them motherfucking books, you gave him some money. Every time you paid $40 for one of them events, you gave him some money.
I've seen the events. I know the type of people that come to those events. Those are not rich people.
Yeah,
that money is missing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Just maybe 3 more questions, and again, thank you for your time. This is Freeway City Grace. Do you know anything about the black contractor story that he tells? How they were trying to scam him and all that stuff? Did he mention any of that?
Let me explain to y'all. If Umar says anything that I doubt there were ever black contractors. I'm just looking for real. If anybody ran off with the money, he told me as soon as I came in the door by his mother, he was like, somebody stole his identity and ran off, or somebody ran off or stole his identity and filed taxes. Like, it could be possible, but I think you're trying to cover up because where I worked at, like you were trying to cover up and make a story. I don't know if there was ever a black contractor. He might have been a black contractor who ran out with money, but I doubt it. Yeah. Anything he don't, because you got to think about it. If he get a small little toy, that means puts it in your face. Why is he holding?
He wants the black contractors to do the work for free or dirt cheap.
Back with other things that, he was willing to get on the phone and do a whole thing about the habit system where Jose
takes back,
he was willing to get on there and flex that out. But
the habit system
stuff, Jose wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it either. I just was like, no, you could have had the system refurbished. You didn't have to buy a whole other damn system. But
the thing is,
she don't know what the fuck she talking about. I'm glad he corrected her on that, on how to pronounce it and how it was stripped. There was nothing to be refurbished, bitch. It needed new everything. There was no air conditioning system there. It was just a shell. The motor was gone, the piping, the vents, all that shit was gone.
roofs. There's actually 4 of those large ones, and then there's smaller ones too on the other side of the street. But they were completely gutted, meaning everything was ripped out of it. And probably drug addicts ripped out of it. So there's no way that he could actually repair those. He has to. Yeah. That's such a waste of money all the way across the board.
It ain't even drug addicts that's doing it. It's niggas that scrap metal that do it. It's hustlers that do it.
But even I told him, I do remember this. I told him, I said, find a school and see if find one of these labor unions or something. Maybe they have some workers that need experience, like putting up sheetrock or something like that. And you could buy the supply and maybe get them to come in and do the work as a teaching moment. If you be creative, you can probably find a way. They're like, no, we can't do that. I said, well, you got an art school. He was looking for people to do these paintings and stuff. You have an art institute behind the school. If you were more of a people person, you could go out and, probably solicit that job out to artists and see if they wanted to have, their work put up. No, he don't want to do it. He doesn't. In the same way, when he came to that neighborhood, he didn't try to be friendly. He didn't try to meet people. He didn't try to move around and get to know them. And it's a nice neighborhood, hood. It has the potential to be better. There are children in the area. I'm pretty sure those people don't want crime in their area. He could have been a force, you know what I mean? But he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
Yeah, he never.
What the fuck have you built or done though? He deserves all the criticism he's getting, but what the fuck have you built? You trying to tell him and give him ideas on some shit that you haven't even done. Again, he was who the fuck he was when he met you. That's why you were attracted and drawn to him, because he was Umar motherfucking Johnson.
Never was.
He put a party on that block. He kicked it on that block, but he just, he don't want to have no meetings. Hey, I've got a town. I need, nothing. Just familiarize yourself with the area. And I asked him this. I said, what if you get the building that you're in, if you get that fixed up and you can start, just renting it out to fund the other side for like, events and stuff. He didn't want anything to do with that. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. This is a question. Do you know who Lady J is?
Lady J in Louisville? I don't know. Okay. There's so many people. And I'm telling you, these women are, oh my God. You think his stuff was dipped in gold or not even dipped in gold? It's like, I didn't see myself. I don't know how they protect him like that. Especially being years into, I think you have to get closer. The closer you get, then you see it. Because I was like that too until I got closer, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you don't know no good." So
yeah. Do you think that Umar has hit rock bottom with this situation?
No, not yet. Not yet.
What does rock bottom look like for you?
Rock bottom is going to be. I'm gonna be quite honest, y'all. And I hate speaking morbid.
I already know what you're gonna say. I already know.
When his mom, if anything happens to that woman, or if anything turns, because he can't even hear. That is the possibility that she might have dementia. And I was, the reason why I stopped bringing it up is because dementia is a definite, you know what I'm saying, outcome with that. And that may not be something he's able to contend with, or even he's not even want to think about. So that might be why he's denying it all. And then it might be something else, but that would look like rock bottom. The other thing would be, we wouldn't hear or see from him. If I woke up tomorrow and something had happened to him, like they had that explosion. Did you hear that explosion?
Yeah.
About that, yeah. So if anything happened, I would not be shocked. I'm like, damn, that's jacked up. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was either him or, I wouldn't be shocked. But I think he just, he's going to implode. He's going to, well, let me tell you this too, from this morning's conversation. He's either going to be hemmed up with the federal. That's a real deal. Once a file.
Lennon has been saying that for 5 years. It don't take them that long if he doing federal tax evasion shit it don't take 5 years.
Always a file. Or he's gonna implode. It crashed out. It crashed out will look very, very different for him.
Yeah, what you mean by a file? You know something that we don't know?
Now she's saying that the IRS got a file, but she said she ain't never looked him up. She don't know nothing about his goings and comings and nothing, but now she's able to tell y'all that the IRS got a file on him. This bitch has been lying this entire 6-hour interview.
I think he just need to start. Nothing that I could say just based off of some things we can't.
All right, leave it right there. We're gonna leave right there. Yeah, we ain't gonna go no further. I got you. Okay. There's just a couple more questions here. One of this is going back to the sex, okay?
Okay.
Some of that asked, did Umar ever ask you to play with his backside?
No, he has not tried that.
Okay.
But kind of like, oh, you're talking about the actual rim? Are you talking about with my mouth or with my finger?
Listen, I don't, wait, okay, so here, let me put this up here and then you answer it based upon what you and how you interpret.
2-finger Tunde.
Okay, yes, with the fingers, yes. But that's not something I'm really into because of the germs, not with the tongue. That's was Suki I was talking about. Okay. She made a song in reference that and he was okay with it, but I'm not putting my tongue anywhere near anybody's.
Okay, but you're saying that the diddler type of thing, he was
the diddler type thing.
He likes that when he's getting.
What's the diddler type thing?
His
Yeah, we heard that part. Hold on, y'all.
His lift off.
What does that mean?
He's it's part of like if you know how you touch some things and then you massage others.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you touch the ball. I guess I'm trying to keep it somewhat. All I keep thinking about is like when Lynn's wife, like, what the hell? No, it just I don't want to be disrespectful.
Listen, you ain't talking about me. You talking about Umar. So
I appreciate that. I just don't. Some women don't want their husband nowhere near around me and that. But yeah, he likes that couple, like his Cherry's couple, and then he likes the massage.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
But not like just not by itself. It's like a
so do he like his booty hole massaged or do he like you to stick fingers in him? That's a difference.
And
both of them are weird to me, but there is a difference.
Like in unison type.
Okay. And did he verbalize that to you?
No, but he pushes his hand and scoops up, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He'll push your hand, like, take your hand. Because I thought he might, like I saw in this one thing where guys like to take it out of their mouth and put it in your mouth. Like, the guy wants to do it, not you do it. The guy wants to take it out of your mouth and then put it back in your mouth. Okay. Well, he likes that. He will put your hands where he wants your hands to go. Mm-hmm. So you'll know, like.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because there was a woman, this was many years ago, I didn't have her on the show, but she emailed me and she talked about, this is when he had his own apartment. Yeah. How he was like a child, he's very much like a child in that at a certain point, he was sitting on the couch. He also feels real filthy in there too, but he was sitting on the couch and told her to come over. And it was, no, he wasn't on the couch. She was sitting on the couch. And then he comes over and sits in front of her and then reaches back and takes her hands and puts it on his shoulders. And then on his shoulders, have her like massage, but it was more like he was a child trying to get affection. So this idea of him taking hands and putting,
And when he had the wreck, I will say this: I massaged him most of. I had this Nivea is like Aqua 4. It's like some lotion. It was like super hydrating. But I put that on him and I was rubbing him down with it. He's a baby. Like he's like it's not rubbing him like all his body, but like his top body because he said his shoulder was hurt. He kept talking about his hand hurts and my shoulder hurts, my hand hurts, my shoulder hurts. And I was rubbing him down with that. He loves being massaged. Like he'll go to sleep on it, everything. And
so why do you say he's like
you will put your hands on him.
What do you mean by he's like a baby? What does that mean?
He's very infantile. He's very infantile in some respects. He's giddy in other. Like if he's having a really good time, he'll be infantile in one respect, and then he'll be like giddy. Like when the food comes, he's dancing. You know how people are really like in a good mood. And then if he's really, really comfortable, I knew that the butt play stuff, it was never on the table until after Atlanta. Atlanta was like a whole new him. I don't know what happened, but he was like, he must have been thinking about some things he wanted to do because he was like a whole different person.
Or maybe he was down there doing those things. Yeah.
Yeah, or no, right? But he likes for you to lay on the bed, like lay across, and he stand on the other end, and then he likes head like that. Yeah.
What?
He likes to stand up, get in head. He doesn't like.
Why are you sitting here telling women how he like getting head? Who cares?
Laying down, and he likes standing up. And that's why he kept falling into the wall. I was like, look, bro, just sit down because you can't, we're not going to be able to get this done. He's real tender. He's a tender dumpling.
I don't even know what you
Some people are just,
So because he prefers standing up to get head, that's weird. That's weird. Some women prefer you standing up because they neck hurt the other way after so long. But, you know, what do I know?
tender when they're afterwards, like he's really tender. Like he don't want to be like he's tender. He's very tender.
I don't know what you mean by that. I'm
He's
sorry.
like sensitive. Yeah, he's sensitive. He doesn't like being like you can't like if he finishes, if he's done, if he came, then you can't keep going because he can't take it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most niggas can't. What the fuck?
I never heard that before.
And just like a lot of women can't take it neither. They done came so many times. You eating that pussy, they push your head, baby. I can't take no more. It's fucking normal. What the hell is this? Then he's sitting there acting like, oh shit, I don't know. I've been with one woman my whole life. I don't what is getting your dick sucked? I don't know what that is. What?
See, okay, we don't.
Like I don't know, but and he'll take your hands if he wants to. And see, that's another thing. When we first started linking, I was in control of everything. He wasn't forward. He wasn't like, he was almost like he was scared of me or whatever.
Well, he was awkward.
He was very awkward. I was like, man, you're supposed to. And then I was watching the comments. I was like, oh, these girls love me. And been,
you thought he was supposed to just be all over you. He kicked back and chill. He wanted to see what you was about.
Like a reputation or something. And then when I got him, the first time we did it, I was like, oh, okay. I was really blown away with the size. I didn't expect it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't come on and say, he's packing, but he doesn't have the motion. Like he's not like somebody who knows they're packing. So that was that. And then he's very awkward with like, what you want me to do? Do you want me to lay down and sit back? Or what do you want? How do you do this? And I was like, just let me do everything. Mm-hmm. And that kind of made me more confident because I felt like I know what I'm like this,
And him sitting there going, that's very sassy to me. But he called Umar sassy.
Like sex goddess, which I'm not that experienced either. But I did my work, research, whatever. But
you sitting here listening to this motherfucker talk about how big this man dick is. And you sitting there, I know what you mean, sis.
We had a better time the second time. The second time was like, okay, I know what you like. Mm-hmm. And then he got more and more loose. So then it got to the point where I would text him, I'd be like, hey, sexy. And then he would be like, are you in Philly? And I was like, no, I'm just saying hello. He was like waiting for me. I think that was his way of saying, come back.
Yeah.
Even when we fell out the last time, he called me an evil demon. I was like, maybe he wants me to come out there after things got cool again. And he wouldn't say it, but he would hint around to it. I was like, well, just give me a date and I'll be on the way out there. But he didn't give the date. So I was like, oh, well, and I kept on moving on. But he kept wanting booty pictures. He's like obsessed with my butt. He wants my butt. So, so I sent the pictures. He was ready to set a date. He was like, when are you going to get your man up? That's how we got to that. Because somebody said that, and I was like, well, I'm the original person. And he was like, yeah, you are. And then we moved on from that. But when I came back out there, he was just like, he was used to me and he loosened up. He was ready to start. So he was messing with me in the elevator, which was strange because I was like, hey, no, not here, not here, not here. He's always talking about being incognito. So he all the way from the elevator all the way to the room. I think I even got the room wrong, so we had to go a little bit further down. He was very outward, where before he didn't really want anybody to know that, you know, I was there for him like the other trips. But when I came up for his mother, he was like, get up and give me a hug. Because I didn't get up when he came in. He was like, get up and give me my hug, and I'm about to leave. So he gave me a hug, smacked me on the butt. I think that was to let the people in the hotel know that I was there with him, which was very disheartening. The guy noticed him. He dapped the guy up. And then he got mad because I was on the phone. And the guy was like, you got Santa Claus here because he's talking about my hair. Yeah, I do, don't I? And we were kind of just like joking back and forth. And then he was like, quit talking to people and go to your room. And I was like, I'm going up there. I got to get, you know, my stuff. And I got upstairs. But then he came, it's like every time he come back, he was like getting more and more interested and more, not more and more interested, but more and more loosened up. And I don't know if it was the text messages, but he was trying to get me towards something. I don't know where we were going. I already sat down, you know, we're not gonna be able to do anything because he's not as long, he's long, but he's also very wide. He's pretty wide. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
She just sent Umar 1,000 more hoes.
So then we just kept going on, and he got more and more comfortable, and we just started messing around, playing around, doing different things. I wasn't really all that shocked about the booty play because I know I was reading something that said that their nerve endings are at the rectum, but he wanted that played with. He just took my hand and he put it there. So I was like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. It's interesting because things that he said about Tariq Nasheed, even he said he called me it's a booty. I'm not gonna say it, but it's the booty with then there's a B word after that.
Oh, the bandit.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. It's almost like he's projecting. You know.
Yeah. He wanted somebody. I think he wanted somebody safe to play with, and I was okay with doing it because some things like what we talked about.
But again, were you massaging his booty hole? Or were you sticking your fingers inside his booty hole? It's the difference.
Because I don't have a lot of experience either. I don't have a really high body count. I don't, you know, I sat down for most of my kids' life. I've never had no, you know, raging 20s. Like, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get in there and get it done. Like, and I thought maybe it would develop into something like emotionally, maybe that it did for him. It did a little bit for me too, but it's not like the actions. Like I even had to tell him about tact. Like he was about to leave. I said, "Hey, we just got through doing all of this. Say goodbye, give a hug, you know, say something." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He came back. I don't think certain things just dawn on him. He's and that's why I was asking about autism.
Ma'am, you was just a booty call. God damn, get over it.
He's very cut and dry, you know. I was like, you're not supposed to be like that. You don't dismount off a woman and just be like, we're not doing that. If you want that type of situation, then yeah, I gotta find somebody else because this is my relaxation. We're not doing that. And then you want me to massage you, and he just wants to be adorned. He wants to be like worshipped. He wants everything to be about him. He's not concerned with you or pleasure, you know, or anything like that. He's not that type of person in bed. You know, the oral sex for him is like that, you know.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's not a big, you know, it wasn't, I was okay with just like, but he's horrible.
Okay. Okay. All right. This video's definitely gonna get demonetized. No, it's okay. Listen, it got demonetized like about 2 hours.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's not true because this is my second part of it. I played 4 hours of it yesterday. I did just fine. The first one that I did was just fine. I'm cussing more than y'all.
I'm not like I just.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's
all medically, you know. It's all medical.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's all good. Okay, just two more questions here. Did Umar ever talk about Tiff the Griff to you?
Yeah, he didn't like her. He didn't like her. He said, I knew, what was that, I think it was going to the last time. He was like, I think that's who he was talking about because he was sitting in a chair and he was eating something, and we were talking about zodiacs, and he was like, yeah, he said they talk too damn much. And I said, who are you talking about? I'm not no Gemini. I thought he was trying to be smart, like, yeah, because you talk to them. He said, no, not you. He was like, I had a woman working with me before, and I was like, uh-oh. And he was like, no, she just talked too damn much. And then I said, that's what you were talking about, Tiff the Griff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Information Man had asked this earlier. He had asked, did you ever consider filing a complaint on Umar for elder abuse with his mother? And if not, why?
Did, but I wanted to exhaust all possibilities. I'm not for weaponizing things like that against family members. And he might have just came in like for what else I've done in the past. Like there's a lot of DV situations I would have went into. I would have outlined the hell out of it. Like really, but I know she's not in her. You know, she's battling a big problem. Like how could you let this man take their money and go get drunk and your kids are having hate? You know. But they're not in. You can't shame somebody. You know, trying to help them out of a situation. They're just making a series of bad decisions, and it would kill me. You know, if that got out, it would kill me helping anybody else going forward. Like, yeah, don't call her. She gonna.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I would do the best that I can in a situation with him. I tried to talk to him first, and I have all of the text messages. I thought I could make a good enough argument. He would see reasoning, but I think he took my reasoning as, oh yeah, you can't go back into space now. You know, like you done said too much, you done stepped on, you know, like, no, I can't put you. And that's when we got to here. I told him to stop putting people in my space. I need some kind of follow-up, some kind of, not that I need, but I would have wanted a follow-up on what was going on with his mom. He wouldn't even offer any information like mom's good or, you know, anything. So I was like, yeah, he's not changing.
And then the last question out of the chat, and thanks everyone who sent in super chats. I'm going to, after I'm done with these questions, I'll go through the other super chats where there's not questions, it's just comments. The last question for you from the Cookie Crush chat is, do you think he worked for the FBI?
By the way he changes things, like he's a revolutionary like in front of people, and then he switches up. I don't think that the FBI would really consider him. Maybe
I think he would be a liability.
He would, but then there's also his intellect could be useful in some spaces. Instead of just putting him in, he might have scammed and got caught up in it, and then they're using him to bust or take down. Because you see, we have a lot of shit going on in the conscious community, and he don't have no problem snitching on nobody. Yeah. But he will tell you it's messy if you do it on him. He didn't have any problems, like when I told him about things that were going on in my job. And I was like, well, I'll just tell you later because I'm on government grounds and we can't talk about certain things on government ground. That's, you know, it's a hashtag violation. He didn't have any, like, he wasn't like, oh, girl, come on, you know, it's me. You know what I mean? Which I wouldn't have fell for it anyway, but he seems like very, I don't know if this is going to sound crazy. This is the only reason why I'm entertaining the FBI thing or being an informant. He is very much on board with the rules, but he also breaks the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll reprimand somebody if they do something sideways or they smoke, you know, marijuana or something like that. But he will also engage and do other things. I don't know. It's like a split. It's like a split. Yeah, I wouldn't think that I've seen them do some things with hackers where they put them to work versus just giving them jail time and letting that go unchecked. But I don't, and maybe he is to infiltrate the conscious community and maybe even persuade things to go a certain way. You know.
Okay. Yeah, one last question that just came in. This is from Vic Sub. What does he call Tiff the Grip? Does he have any particular name? Because he doesn't like her, but is there any name that he called her?
He didn't talk about her. None of these women, none of these women he talked about. I think that was the only scenario with the girls in the UNI. Tiff the Grip must have did something that to move against him. He never talked about Ian, because he never talked about any of these women. I asked him about her. after finding out, your videos and stuff, he never talked about any of them.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even tell, and still hasn't said anything about the girl that threw the lotion bag. I know he knows who that is.
Yeah.
I know him just by watching him and watching what she says on the ground. It just validated everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he got loud, like he was trying to be funny, he got loud, that's like a form of deflection. Tiff, he did say something about, but I think that's because something happened. But other than that, he's been very quiet to me about the other girls.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, listen, thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
I do have other questions. If in the future you want to come on for follow-up questions, let me just say it this way. Anytime you want to come on, you're welcome to come on. Okay? All right. Again, everyone, her cash is $ Iconic Moguls, which is $ IKONIC MOGULZ. If you want to support the sister, very courageous what you're doing. And I just want to say that Umar, he brought this on himself because ultimately, if he had handled this like a man, he would have resolved it without getting messy. But because he gets messy and goes crazy yesterday with what he posted, what he was posting yesterday, a lot of it he took down. Here we are here today. And so Umar, he will try to blame other people.
Again, this is the second fucking interview. Lennon has already said, oh shit, Umar was posting stuff about you while you were on my live. So Umar did not bring it on himself. He did not do shit to that woman publicly to make her come out and do this shit. He simply responded. She ain't doing nothing but reiterate what she said from the other fucking live. That's it. She brought nothing new. But he brought it on himself.
He'll blame you, he'll blame me, he'll blame the Cookie Crush chat. But this is the result of Umar's behavior, and it's not just with you. He has a history of this with many other women out there around the world.
Yeah. I want to also just, like, for the women that have already went through it, because I got a taste of it yesterday, I'm going to say, just stay the course. I wouldn't attempt to do anything without a plan. I was very lucky. I had a lot of support, and I appreciate you, Lennon. You've been very supportive in all of this, and I've been trying to also work my back channels to make sure I have support too. I don't let anybody pump you. I don't. But when you come out, make sure, like, I kept a lot of stuff in, reserve. The biggest thing in reserve, because I know he's going to keep going. He's not going to stop unless he's made to stop. So the ether, I'm going to wait to unleash. But yeah, this isn't about anything else except for, he came out against me and said that stuff against my kids. That's wrong. Yeah. But I appreciate all of you, everybody.
Okay. And again, you're welcome anytime. So this is not the end. Thank you so much for opening up this. I don't know what to call it.
Yes, a lot.
It is. It is.
But, it's something that I didn't even think about till you asked about it. It's like, it's a lot. He is. I'm just the coldest of a lot of things.
I don't like how both of these motherfuckers are sitting up here acting like they didn't do a 3-hour live stream about this man first. His response is the problem, not the fact that she actually went out there first. She still ain't told us what the nigga did that made her come talk about him. What did he do? What did he do to make you say, you know what, I'm finna blast this nigga? Because we already heard you in this interview say, hey, I had already checked out mentally and shit, but I wanted to get back in to get some more intel and dirt. So what the fuck did he do to you? You stopped being genuine a long time ago, only just to admit to people that you was being a snake. And he probably sensed that and just stopped fucking with you. You came back into his life with ill intent after you said you was checked out. And you decided to go live and blast him some shit you had planned. Come on, Lennon, bruh. Again, I understand you got your reasonings for not liking the nigga and all of that, but still, you got your reasons for not liking him. But even in your situation, him calling you gay and shit came after you pretty much built your channel and your following by talking negatively about him. The first 10 videos you did about him, he didn't respond to you. It's when you started making a name for yourself off his name that he said something back to you. Niggas be starting with people first and then complain at a nigga's response. And y'all people old as hell. Y'all should know how this shit go. Hit me and I'll hit you back.
And we're having deaths and all that other stuff, dealing with somebody that's just cold and disconnected. And you are so right. I want to emphasize all of this could have been avoided. This all could have been avoided.
How?
If it was going to be like, I would have never moved against this man. Never moved against
him. How could it have been avoided? What could he have done to make you not go on Lennon Honor's channel twice? Because this is the second part.
You believe it?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. If I take time out of what I'm building and put everything, I absolutely believe in them. But I don't.
So you were
vindictive. If you need any
vindictive.
help with bringing any of those supporters over to the light, I'm more than happy with coming back on and getting them out from underneath. I think the only surefire way for people to get it is to get close to him. He never has a long-lasting relationship. I don't know if that's something he does. He just doesn't
Because of bitches like you.
have it. That's crazy to me. Be it man or female, or just even a professional relationship.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Lennon.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Very courageous, and it couldn't be
Love them too. This is a supportive bunch, boy. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Marvin, I suggest you go to your doctor and tell him you need some pain pills.
All right. Real quick, let me do these super chats. I'm just going to run through them quickly. Normally I'll take time to kind of work my way through them, but in this case, because of time, we go on for 6 hours and 30 minutes. I said it was a mini marathon. This is a marathon. Real quick, I said earlier today is here, and I sent the link to the email. That was about like 6 hours ago. Thank you, Ike. Information Man said, thank you for what you do. Umar, thank you so much. I think I actually got these too. So thank you, Information Man. I appreciate it. Andrea, yeah, I did this one too. User 225, Lino would have shoved Umar Johnson. Oh, I got that one. So let me see. I got that one. This is from, what's up, Ike Man? Says, oh, she said he had a whole bunch of totes in his house. I thought she was going to say he had a whole bunch of rats and roaches. Yeah, interesting though, she did say that she didn't see any rats. No, she said she didn't see any roaches there. Okay, while she
no roaches or rats, so the house ain't that damn nasty. It ain't that fucked up.
was there. Okay, which is remarkable because it's a hoarder situation. But you can be in a hoarder situation and then not have rodents or pests or anything like that. That can happen as well.
It's very hard.
Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. User 225 said, Umar be like, where are my grapefruit queens? I think that also said, I guarantee he got open cans of tuna everywhere. He did say he likes tuna. That's a question I should have asked him. Did she see any tuna cans in the spot? Probably tuna cans all over the place, stacked up the wall. Thanks, Ice Man Bam. Also said, you should do a poll. Where would you rather spend one full day? FG, Umar's house, or Folsom State Prison? For me, it would probably, I can't, none of it. I was thinking, but no, ain't no way. I'm good. Thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate it. Again, her cash app is $sign iconic moguls. Okay, I will put this down inside the comment section and pin it. That's IKONICMOGUL.
I'm pretty sure she doxed herself with the cash app.
A Wright says, really think some of y'all in the comment section are missing the point. Don't think here is anybody claiming she's okay. Yeah, I don't think that anyone here is claiming that she's perfect. She is learning from her mistakes, and I know the truth now. Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I have to be stern about people making certain comments.
It wasn't a mistake. She kept going back over and over again. It's not a fucking mistake. The woman told y'all she checked out and she still kept going to get information. Now, I'm sure after she checked out, she wasn't going to take care of his mama. And if she was, could you trust a person like that? I'm just going back to get information. These is words that came out her mouth. She not no fucking victim. She planned this moment.
We're here to field questions, not to pass judgment. And we've all made mistakes, and we've all been deceived by people.
I really want to hear Umar's side of the story.
You know, this is part of life, and we live and we learn. And if we're patient enough, time tells the truth. Furthermore, here in Cookie Crush Chat, we have to extend grace. you know, and we want to have an atmosphere where other women and men can feel comfortable coming forward to share their.
Are you extending grace to Umar, motherfucker? Is you in your chat extending grace to Umar with the comments that were said in your live chat as she was saying stuff? Niggas is full of bullshit.
Okay, so
I don't like Umar.
No disrespect to anyone, but when we have our guest here, I'm going to be expecting everyone to be respectful at all times. If you have a question, fine, ask the question. But the judgment stuff and all that stuff, I'm just not going to talk about that. Okay. Thanks, A. Wright, for the super chat. Andrea also says he don't trust anyone because he can't be trusted. Yeah, that's the thing. Someone, I think she said in the first interview that Umar, he's always trying to scam people, and so he's always paranoid that he's going to get scammed. But that's because of how he thinks. It's almost like Umar sees everything through his own eyes, and so everything becomes a delusion because his what he says is based. In
the first interview, she said,
you know,
the first interview,
stuff he said that
out his own mouth, he says in the first interview, she said, Umar did all of his talking about her during that interview. Since then, he ain't said shit, but she's come on here and done part 2. She even told us in part 2 how they were looking for a Mr. Potato Head picture in her first interview, and he sent her the picture. He sent her the picture of Miss Potato Head. Then he was like, y'all ass need to go. You need to go to bed. You've been up talking about me long enough. According to this, now she ain't done it. She not gonna do it, but she wants other people to maybe do it. It didn't cross her mind.
from his behavior was like especially people sitting in the chat. He's a case study, and I totally agree with that. Yeah. Thanks, and for the super chat. No Nintendo said, is this working? Oh, it looks like my interface froze. Yeah, am I still live streaming inside the chat room? Hold on a second, let me see. Oh, here, okay, it correct. So, no Nintendo says 90 fiance the other way. Umar Johnson with Matilda and Ghana. Oh yeah, I think that's the lady that was. She's a. Well, I don't know what you call it. I don't want to say what she was. She is a sex worker. I think that's the lady that you're talking about. If very correctly. We did a whole investigation on her. We did a live for members only.
Okay, she gone. She done talking. It ain't number 5 minutes left. Yeah, we got through that. I just checked IG. Still nothing from Umar. I'm waiting on a live or somebody to pop up and say Umar did a live so I could hear what he had to say. Q is live again doing a get ready with me.
Just upward motion, stroking motions.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. She ain't talking about shit that per usual. Goodwill. Ain't nowhere around. He letting this bitch get the money. He getting the money. She better send that money back home. But all right, y'all. To the next episode. We out. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, baby, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the thick bitch. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old, it's some focus. Shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coded. Memphis niggas spit this pimpin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, where my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Say hi, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Copy, cooking, whipping, shipping, till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving back niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we don't eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we nothing in their mouth and on they booty. Austin and power swag, yeah, baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy, or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2-breeze. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Ron Island cause I like my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Ron Island cause I love my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 Limp Biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot his bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 bow,